Hey guys, J-Games here again. This is going to be what if Luffy was raised in the South Blue. People debate whether this caused any change to his power. It kind of would, but not in a big way actually. We'll go over why Luffy would be in the South Blue. So Ace is left in the South Blue to be raised by Rouge's friends after the Marines leave. That is. But Garp, she's on a mission for a long time, and maybe she has time to more or less not be on a mission. And he's going to be in the East Blue to see Luffy, who already has a straw hat, and Gomu Nami. But then the bandits took in Sabo, because Sabo was actually being beaten up by the Blue Gem crew, and Manga and Dagra intervened, chasing him away, and brought Sabo in. So Luffy actually had met Sabo during this time. Sabo wanted to see Fusha Village for a bit, to just get some good food that he didn't have to hunt, and met Luffy through that. Garp wanted to bring Luffy to meet Ace. He told Luffy that Ace was his brother, and Luffy's okay with meeting Ace if Sabo can come. That Garp just sighs, saying that sure, Sabo can come if he wants to. So with this, Sabo actually wants to go, says goodbye to Dada and her bandits, and Garp still doesn't know who they are, so he says goodbye, thanking them for being nice to Luffy and Sabo. They say goodbye to Sabo, they actually do feel bad and cry about Sabo leaving, same with Luffy, but they leave. Sabo been trained on the ship, as Luffy been trying to learn how to use his Gomu no Mi properly. Back popped. But with this, we'll basically see Sabo and Luffy head to the east. And in the east, they arrive on the island, which is Batteralia, I believe, or Batteralia, I'll call it that. So, as they arrive on Batteralia, they're met by Ace, who's waiting at the dock as he saw a marine ship coming, and already knew it was Garp. Luffy and Sabo step off, and Ace asks who the two kids are, and Garp says Luffy is his brother, or his stepbrother, and then then Sabo is Luffy's friend. Luffy and Ace know each other. They don't really look alike, but they think they do, kinda. They kind of look alike, actually, so they kind of look alike. And with this, Garp eventually does leave for a month of getting them to just trying to find out how they should live, and eventually finds a martial arts academy there, and Luffy, Ace, and Sabo train there. This martial arts academy is taught by some old men that know most martial arts. Luffy will learn karate and taekwondo. We have Sabo and Ace who stick to dojutsu, and occasional karate and taekwondo as well, but they mainly prefer taekwondo. So yeah, and I'm pretty sure when Luffy whole thing that covers One Piece, or at least some art by Oda for Luffy was him in a gi meant for karate. He had a black belt on, so Luffy may be a master of that himself. Luffy prefers to basically learn all forms of karate in his own way, and Garp just found this academy there, so, Luffy trains like that. Luffy actually does grow up with somewhat of a motherly influence, and Luffy is actually a little bit smarter and somewhat of a decent kid. But eventually, on the island, we see some ship land, and Luffy's kind of questioning who they are until he sees some kid jump out, and one the kid's holding two knives. The other one has purple lightning around him, and he begins attacking one of the guys. You bastard! You scammed me. And with this, Luffy just watches as the kid with red hair and purple lightning, and the other blonde kid with knives, taking down these quote unquote merchants who are really just scammers. The cops on the island question who these kids are, and one kid says, "My name's Eustace Kid, and that guy's Killer." They ask Killer what's his real name, and Killer just mumbles, "Killer." And they take his word for it, but saying they have to arrest them for murder, but he says, no. We saw the whole thing that they said they were scammers. Cops investigate the ship, and realized that they were scammers. Well, they weren't really cops, they're kind of like Marines, they're stopping by, but they were just there for a while, so they act as cops. Eventually the Marines leave the next day, because they had to leave already. But Sabo talks to Kid, and Kid thanks them all for basically just vouching for them. Killer thanks him as well, or Killer makes Kid thank them. Killer thanked them first. And, Luffy just said no problem. And Luffy actually asks, who they are. Kid and Killer both say, their names Eustace Kid and Killer. Luffy also points out the purple lightning thing. Kid says, it's not lightning, it's magnetism. Kid holds up his hand, and suddenly a lot of metal goes to his palm. And Kid says his fruit is called the Jiku no Mi. Luffy then says his fruit is called the Gomu no Mi. Kid's you have devil fruit too? Luffy feels he can stretch really far, and Kid actually asks Luffy, that seems stupid. Luffy says it makes him bulletproof and blunt attack proof, and if you want to hurt him, you have to be really fast with the sword. and no one seems to be fast enough to catch him yet. Suddenly, Ace and Sabo hit Luffy on the head with the pipes, and Luffy says, "Oh, right, I'm a little too slow for them though." Killer can't help but chuckle, and Kid actually like these three. They're pretty cool, so he actually offers to be this, so be in the group. Or Kid says, "Huh, you and Killer are pirates, and you guys are cool, so I guess you could be on our crew." Luffy, Sabo, and Ace will say they don't want to be pirates too, but they don't want to be in the same crew together because they don't know who'd be captain. But either way, they will not be subservient to Kid. Luffy's thinking, asking how old they are, and Kid and Killer are actually older than Ace and Sabo. I believe Kid post-time will be 23, while Ace and Sabo will be 22, and then Killer is 4 years older than Kid. Luffy meets them, Kid is 11, and Killer's 15. Luffy actually offers to fight them both, saying, "Alright, if I beat you guys have to join my crew." And Ace and Sabo didn't care enough to join. Luffy was the one that mainly wanted people on his crew. Ace and Sabo wanted to look for their own crew, not just have some random guys they just met. But Luffy's the more eccentric one, so he fights Kid and Killer, and wins after around 3 hours into his painting and sweating, saying, "Seems like you two are on my crew now." Kid ends up saying, "Damn it, I lost." And Killer then says, "Don't worry, Kid. He seems like a good guy. We can trust him." Kid yells, "No, I wanted to lead my own crew and everything." Then says, "How about this? You're the vice captain." And Kid says, "What is that? What use is that?" Then says, "You make about as much decisions as me. It's just I have the final pull. I'm the one that gives the final decision, and you just make most of them. You're kind of like me, but I have more pull." Kid says, "Fine, that works. What about Killer?" He says, "Killer, what can you do?" Killer says, "Swords or knives, blades." He says, "Alright then, swordsman." Now that forms the beginning of the Triad crew, with Kid being the vice captain. Once we actually fast forward a bit, and we go on a few years. Well, people kept coming to the island eventually because Luffy, Ace, Sabo, Kid, and Killer made a name for themselves. Even some Marines are actually scared of them, like they don't come to the island because they're so strong. But it struck the attention of a few people. Well, two people. One person by the name of Gem, another person by the name of Galdino. These two were kind of a group, and they actually walk on the island asking to know where these 5 kids were. They live to a giant warehouse by one of the women in the village, and we just see Luffy just in the hideout punching at Kid trying to catch him, and Kid's barely evading. But we see Killers throwing knives at a dartboard, just getting bullseye after bullseye after bullseye. Then we see Ace and Sabo training together. Jam and Galdino are shocked to see their literal kids. One is 7 years old, and the oldest one there is 15. But the thing is, the 15-year-old isn't the leader. It's the 10-year-old who's the leader. Ace is the leader. Ace is the leader that's like he can beat them all. Like him and Sabo, it's high for power, but Ace is still physically the strongest one. And Sabo's kind of like the brains. But yeah. Now with this, we more or less go on to basically see Galdino and Jam take over the South Blue, and that these two are the only things that stop them. So they actually want to fight, whoever the leader is, and Kid and Killer point to Luffy saying that's our leader. Suddenly Gem would attack Luffy, but Luffy just jumps right over him, putting him in a chokehold using his arms. Not chokehold, but more or less like grabbing his arms around Gem's neck and choking him out using his insane strength. And Gem barely got his devil fruit recently, so he's not able to control it properly. Tries to blow up Luffy's arms, it's not working, so he passes out. We see Gem. Well, Gem right now is 14. He's younger than Killer. We see Galdino, who's 25. He's using his devil fruit on them, or thinks he is, until they all suddenly escape. But then he just sees Luffy, Kid with the one holding his hand out, and before Galdino knows what's going on, a gigantic hunk of metal hits him right in the back of the head, and he's knocked unconscious. He kind of forgot that they're in a junkyard, and he could tell it wasn't lightning. He questioned what it was, and as he assumed it was magnetism, he forgot he was in a junkyard and is hit back of the head by a giant engine. I don't think they have cars, so not an engine. Let's say like a giant piece of fence, and one of the pillars holding it down hit him back of the head, knocking him out. Now with this, Kid says, "Alright then, I beat you, so you're part of our crew now. You're part of the Straw Hat Pirates." And Galdino wasn't knocked out, I guess, but more dizzy, saying, "I'm not some damn pirate." Suddenly, Killer would actually grab Galdino by it's like the collar of his shirt and just been hitting in the gut over and over and over again. Till Galdino admits he's part of the crew. He says, alright then. Alright, more Straw Hat Pirates. Ace and Sabo then be thinking, saying, should we be trying to find our own crew? Because he already has, like, 4 guys now. And it's just us 2. Pause real quick. So we go on to basically just see like Luffy just go on. And as Luffy goes on, well, eventually we see just, well, a few years pass. These few years pass, well, not a few years, actually, a few months. Luffy already has 4 members of his crew in just a few months. These few months actually would see a ship arrive, and Luffy recognized the ship immediately, yelling, Shanks! And, well, actually, Shanks came to Fusha just to see Luffy one more time, and actually heard from Makino that Luffy headed off to the South Blue to live there with his brother. And, well, they happened to be stopping the South Blue recently, so Shanks actually happened to go to the South Blue, and guessed the island, and he stopped there. He couldn't question why it was this island, and questioning if Garp was playing some sick game, so he looked at Ace, realizing how similar Ace looked to Roger. With this, Ace realized that Luffy is not the son of Roger, but more like a very distant relative, possibly, or someone. He's Garp's grandson, and Shanks is like, oh yeah, possibly, so that may be the whole thing. But then Shanks just realized Garp is a good pirate, and actually reveals to Ace he was part of Roger's crew, which shocks them all. And says that the route used to belong to Roger, and, well, Ace then says that, well, he's from the West Blue, but, yeah. Pause one time, sorry. So, Shanks kind of reveals this whole thing, reveals Luffy had the straw hat of Roger, and, well, they begin kind of just getting along with the red-haired pirates. And they're more or less allowed to stay because they used to be part of Roger's crew, and Roger used to date Rouge. Shanks actually does hate Roger up until it was revealed that by Shanks that he had an illness that killed him, but he turned himself into the Marines. Or that wasn't to kill him, he turned himself into the Marines so he didn't die just from natural causes. He wanted to go out in a blaze of glory. Or in a shiny way of glory because he got stabbed by shiny blades. So yeah. Ace realized that, well, he didn't really Ace realized that Roger didn't want him or Rouge to suffer by just mourning his death. He realized that he wanted just the world to know that he died, and that Ace also would not be known to the world that he was Roger's son. Ace, at this point, already doesn't hate Roger. I don't think he never liked Roger in the first place. But Ace does say his name is not Portgas D. Ace, but instead it's Gold D. Ace. And, well, everyone already knew this. It was just Ace called himself Portgas D. Ace. But eventually, well, he just like, alright then, well, I'll be leaving. And he does leave after a while. And, well, they also heard from Yasuo about Usopp. They all know about who Usopp is. And, well, eventually, we have to go on to just, like, a few years in the future. A few years, just probably another few months, almost a year. They set sail again. Well, not again. They really want to set sail as a group just to go find Usopp. But Luffy insists on was like mapping out the West Blue, mapping out the South Blue, because Galdino and Jem had the goal to basically take it over. And Luffy insisted that they should take it over themselves, and they take over the South Blue in a pretty short amount of time. They're really strong, and no one can actually compete with them. The person that they met was actually Inazuma, who actually could compare to them and beat them. Until, well, he got attracted to Killer's Scissors. Well, not Killer's Scissors. Kids, Magnetism Fruit, attracting Inuzuma's scissor hands. And Inazuma was quickly punched in the face by Luffy, and then kicked in the face by Ace and Sabo combined, and it knocked him out, making him, well, lose. But Sabo and Ace don't really want anyone to join their crew yet. They want to find their own crew. So this actually goes to Luffy now. Inazuma is now in Luffy's crew. Luffy's crew consists of Kid, Killer, Galdino, Inazuma, and Jem. So 2, 3, 4, 5 guys already. With this, well, Luffy just kind of keeps over the South Blue successfully. And, yeah. Until we should go on and just see, like, just them eventually head back to their, island, Bataralia. And all there, eventually, well, a few years pass. Ace eventually sets sail, so does Sabo. And that kind of goes the same way. Ace gets Marineford no Mi. Well, Sabo just set sail to join the revolutionaries that Inazuma had Impel on them. He wanted to join them, but he lost to Luffy, so now has to join the Straw Hats. But now with this, well, they should be designing their own ship. The Straw Hats do, at least. And the designer ship actually is huge. Because there's a lot of them, and they need big rooms because they have their own designs. Killer doesn't need a room. He's okay sharing a room with Kid, and Kid's like, all right, sure, why not? Inazuma more or less kind of got a fucking workshop. He kind of sleeps in there. Actually, would lead to Inazuma actually being good friends with Usopp. So yeah, because him and Usopp share a room in the workshop. Now with this, when Luffy's around 15 years old, he would set sail with his Straw crew, being Inazuma, Galdino, Gem, Kid, and Killer. So yeah, so they set sail. Well, they head to the East Blue. They go to the Grand Line, and the thing is, they're getting a map of the whole South Blue and the whole Grand Line separating them from the East. There's no red line separating them. So yeah, the East and South Blue are connected. Just the Grand Line separates them. Then it's the same thing for the West and North Blue. The Grand Line, the Red Line more or less separates the East from the North, or the East from the West, and the South from the North. So yeah. Well, this eventually, when they actually map out the Grand Line that was blocking them from the East, they head all the way over to the East successfully, and while they're there, they come across a certain ship that attacks them. The ship happened to be bright pink, and we considered it a very ugly ship. And when he looked at how ugly it was, he saw a pink-haired boy, mopping the deck, and I was kicking him around, saying, "Move, Coby, we're in battle." Luffy felt bad for the guy, and he stretched out his arm, grabbing the kid and pulling him onto the boat. But he did it so fast that it was just almost unable to be seen. Luffy recently had been tapping into a new formula he learned. He kind of calls it Gear Second. So yeah. So yeah. Now with this, basically, Luffy would end up basically just, well, first off, rescue Coby, and eventually with this, well, I guess that just makes Coby saved. So I'm gonna write down Coby right here. Coby would be at this point. So when he met Luffy, he was a year younger than Luffy. So it's 2 years before he met Luffy. So that'd make him 14 right now. So yeah. So Coby right now is 14. Anything think Luffy was saving it. And currently, Kobe's actually in okay shape. He actually kind of got malnourished, but from the bit of food he did eat wasn't really healthy. So he looked chubby, even though he was actually very, very malnourished. That's why he's so small. But he's only been with Alvida for a few weeks, not a few years. He was with Alvida for, I believe, for 2 years in total. So, yeah. But with this, we go on and just see, like, Luffy, who just ends up just getting Coby and his crew after they defeat Alvida's crew. Coby look at the guys in his crew, they're all pretty big. Luffy at this point is about, like, just 5'7" still. By the time he meets Zoro, he'll be about 5'10", so same height as Zoro. They're hitting the East Blue to grab Usopp, because they know where he is. But, yeah, so eventually they head to Fusha Village. Not Fusha Village, I mean. Well, they stop by there, say hi to the bandits and the people on fucking. Well, they say hi to the bandits and people on Fusha. While there, everyone meets Makino and Daidon, that they say hi. And, yeah. Eventually they leave and head all the way to the Syrup Village. When they get there, well, immediately Usopp's like, Pirates are here! Because they have a Jolly Roger. Like, their official pirate crew. No one believes this until actually one of the guys points out, there's a real ship at the dock, or at the beach. Usopp goes down with, like, ready with a slingshot. When it's fired, Luffy just catches it by saying, oh, a lead ball. Oh, I see you right there, it's Usopp. And Luffy had basically learned to notice small details through conquering the East. He's been in, like, hundreds of battles already. Hundreds of them. You can conquer the East, conquering the South. He's been in hundreds of battles. Luffy basically is like the Beijing of the South Blue. Beijing conquered the West, Luffy conquered the South. So Luffy kind of just threw like the lead ball right back at Usopp at double the speed and hit Usopp right in the forehead with it, making Usopp fall over, holding his head, like kind of just crying. Luffy said they're not here for harm, they're most here to pick up someone named Usopp. Usopp questions why they want him, and Luffy realizes how much Usopp does look like Yasopp. They go in town, and Luffy actually just says, like, while he's talking, everyone heard it, saying, Usopp's dad is actually a really strong pirate, one of the most famous pirates in the world. And actually, Luffy had met him, and actually, Usopp's dad actually asked Luffy to make him part of Luffy's crew if he ever wants to be a pirate. Usopp heard that, he's like, oh, so you want me to join your crew because my dad asked you? But, yep. And you'd be also one of our newer recruits. Went over to Coby saying, you and him would both be chore boys so far. But you'll both be training under our friends Killer, Galdino, and Gem. Those three. And Gem, Galdino, and Killer main train everyone because they're the ones that are more nice currently. So in terms of personality, it would be more or less Inazuma, Galdino, and Killer training everyone. Those three. Galdino, Killer, and Inazuma. Those three train everyone. Or they train Coby so far. There's not really like how much Coby is lifting. Like Kobe's lifting hundreds of pounds on his back, and he's barely able to stand up holding it. If he's about to fall, Killer would make sure he doesn't fall. But yeah. So I was kind of nervous, but everyone cheers him on, saying, "Come on, you want to be a brave before the sea, right? Here's your chance." Now Kuro immediately recognizes these guys as they already have bad bounty posters. Luffy, Kid, and Killer have bounty posters. Luffy's bounty is already at 30 million, and he's 15. You have Kid who would be around like he's 4 years older than Luffy, so Luffy 15. Kid is like he's like 19 right now. He's 4 years older than Luffy, so yeah. Kid's 19. He has a bounty of 28 million, and Killer would be 4 years. He's 8 years older than Luffy, so he would be 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. He's 23 right now. And they think he's the captain, so he has a bounty of 33 million. You know, Luffy's the captain, stronger than them all. Luffy is truly stronger than his whole crew, even though if he fights them all at once, it'd end in a draw. But still, physically, he's strongest in terms of speed. He's the fastest. Intelligence, he's probably the dumbest. The smartest one is going to be Inazuma and Galdino. But yeah. So yeah, Luffy can kill owns with bounties. And immediately Kuro's kind of nervous. And actually, Galdino points out that Kuro's actually a wanted pirate. Points that out. Immediately everyone turns their eyes on Kuro. They think he's lying until Luffy says no, they have bounty posters from all over the South Blue for pirates that they could find. And they even have bounties from pirates in the East Blue, and Kuro's actually on one of them. With that, Galdino goes on the ship, pulls it out, shows it to everyone, and immediately they actually try to warn Mary, but Mary's cut down. And before Kuro can jump in and kill Kaya, well, immediately Usopp has fired a lead ball right through Kaya's window, and happened to go right over Kaya's lap, hitting Kuro right in the sternum. He can fall over just like coughing. Luffy immediately had thrown Usopp right in the window, and Usopp had just landed a successful drop kick right on Kuro's face, knocking him right out of the room, falling down the stairwell, and then on the ground. He looked up, suddenly his sword plunged right into his back, and it is from Killer. Killer had just killed Kuro, ironically. And Kuro basically said, Killer just said that he will not harm anyone related to our crew. Usopp actually showed genuine concern for Kaya, and Killer happens to be one of the more kind people in the crew, so he's very protective of the Straw Hats and people that are allied with them. So before Kaya could come downstairs to check on him, Killer dragged Kuro outside, and Usopp told Kaya that he's a wanted pirate, stay away from him. Killer poked his head inside, saying, would you care if he's dead? And she says, I wouldn't want him dead, but I'm kind of nervous I was living with a pirate for so long. He said, long story short, he's dead now. Where should I dump him? Where should I dump him? Kaya can't but throw up, and Usopp says, just dump him in the ocean or something. Don't tell her you're dumping a body. And Killer just throws Kuro's body in the ocean after pulling out his sword. Kid says, well, that was fast. You sure he's a pirate? He says, 100% he's a pirate. So and Galdino and Inazuma are also pretty sure. But as they're about to leave, and Usopp actually asks, like, is he coming with them or not? Because he's kind of nervous because they're about to leave. He says, come on, come on, come on. Kobe's sick in the middle of the village. We're to bring him on board because he's sick. But come on, we're leaving. Usopp had with everyone as he runs to the Straw Hats and jumps on the boat. He asks who the captain is, and he thinks it's Killer until Luffy reveals he's the captain. Usopp asks why, because he's older than Luffy by a few months, and Killer says it because Luffy had fought them all at once and tied with them, not lost. He had made it a draw. The thing is, 3 of them have devil fruits. 4 of them have devil fruits. Out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, now 7 members of the crew, 4 of them have devil fruits. 5 counting Luffy. When Usopp heard the devil fruits, like, oh, those are real? That's when Killer's like, yep. Kid, Luffy, Galdino, Inazuma, and Gem have devil fruits. I'm one of the few that doesn't, but I'm pretty sure that none of them ate it on purpose. And they all just actually yelled that it tasted horrible, and they thought it was good food. Luffy gets such a pass because he was 7 years old. They give him a pass for that, but yeah. But at this point, Luffy's he's 15, so it's like a year after Ace and Sabo left. This makes Usopp also 15 years old. Let's keep sailing around. Well, eventually, after heading back, they come across a ship, and the ship actually had a woman on it begging for help. They have a woman on board. She's not much older than Luffy and Usopp. And they bring her to an island, and as they're asleep, she tries to rob them all, but Kid already knew what she was up to. Kid and Galdino knew what she was up to, threatening her if she didn't get the ship. He immediately the one said, "Huh? You think you can get me? I'm cat burglar Nami. Who do you think you are?" Just for that Kid trying to hit him in the face with the staff, but he just broke it. Don't hit him. It broke, which just showed how durable he was. And said that she should kill her right now, but Luffy doesn't approve of killing people, except for Kuro. Kuro was human scum. Luffy walked out asking, "What's going on? It's late." So it's on Nami and I'm with the staff ready, and Kid just standing there with his arms crossed, saying, "She's trying to rob us." And her name's like Cat Burglar Nami or something. What kind of lame shit is that, Luffy? Goes, my name's also kind of lame, but it's pretty accurate. Yeah. So Cat Burglar Nami, right? He goes, yeah, and I'll be taking all your money. He says, "You can try, but you're gonna lose easily." First, dash right past Luffy with her speed, but she's caught pretty easily. And she realizes no way to get off the ship. He's eventually just more or less arrested by the Straw Hats and kept as a prisoner. Inazuma had to be kicked out of the workshop with Usopp, and she's put in there for the time being. And with this, eventually, Luffy actually asks, why is she trying to rob them? After a few hours, he eventually is just annoyed, and she tells him the truth that she's like the whole Arlong thing. Luffy actually says that he's willing to beat up Arlong because he has a higher bounty than Arlong. Even his friend does, as he just hints at Killer. She actually thinks that the bounties are based off strength and agrees to actually let them fight Arlong. So the starts to pull up Arlong Park, and Luffy's the one standing on the edge of the boat, saying, "All right then, so you must be Arlong," as he points at him. Arlong says, "Yeah, who are you, kid?" And immediately Kirby's like, "Sir, the Straw Hat Luffy. He's pretty strong. He's from the South Blue." Along with Luffy's wanted poster saying, "Oh, 30 million berries. Impressive. Where's your captain?" With that Killer's wanted poster. He's saying, I'm not the captain. I'm not as strong as him. I'm weaker than him, actually, by a lot." This couldn't help but make Arlong laugh, saying, "Really, you're weaker than this brat." Which makes Killer say, "Yeah." Arlong just after that Luffy is using just some fisherman karate technique, hoping to catch Luffy off guard. When he bites into Luffy's just arm, or he thought he'd bitten Luffy's arm. Well, something actually covered Luffy's arm before Arlong's teeth bit down. Well, it was kind of just a ton of steel. As Arlong had bit into it, his teeth had began cracking, but before they all shattered and he can regrow them, he's punched right in the jaw, and all of his teeth are broken, and so is his jaw. They sent flying right through the room that Nami coincidentally had worked in for maps, and sent flying all the way off of Kokoyashi village. As he hits the water, he's just unconscious and just sinks. Eventually he wakes up 2 minutes later, but as he arrives, he just sees his whole crew defeated. And that all happened in 2 minutes. So, yeah. It should probably a lot longer, because Kokoyashi village is an island. So I'd say probably by the time he arrives after 15 minutes, he comes back seeing his whole crew defeated. And just thinks of himself as just some pathetic excuse of a man if his crew is that easily defeated. Then tries to attack Luffy, saying a one-on-one, thinking he can beat Luffy that way. But Luffy gives him the hands in one-on-one. Luffy's just a master at karate in all forms of it. So eventually they start beating Arlong. Arlong just on the ground unconscious. And with that, eventually they call the Marines, turning in Arlong. But the bounty is collected by, again, not the Straw Hats. With that, the bounty, 20 million berries goes to the village. And then they should give 11 million, not 11 million, they give 8 million to the Straw Hats. And Nami takes the money that she had earned from just robbing people for over 6 years, gives it to her crew, and she asks can she join them? They seem like good people. He says, "Sure." They're not really pirates right now. They're more or less bounty hunters so far. But soon enough, they'll be pirates. Pause real quick. Eventually, Nami is happy to join the crew, and Strats head back to the South Blue. As they run through it, they run through the east, taking over really quickly. They're really strong. One island that they couldn't take over was Logtown, because Smoker wasn't there, but Tashigi was. And they were able to beat Tashigi, sure, but they just had so many numbers that they couldn't beat them all. They more or less fought to a standstill and they left. So half of the East Blue belongs to Strides, the other half belongs to the Marines. So yeah, now with this, Strides head back to the East Blue, and they stay there for 2 years, helping Coby and Usopp train. So yeah. Coby happened to have a book on marine techniques, and one of them that he had was actually very notable for CP9. It's this book is exclusive. It costed almost 10 million berries. Which money is that in US dollars? So Coby's family paid around $86,000 for this book on marine techniques. It was being told by an ex-marine that happened to be betrayed by them, so he just wanted to tell himself their techniques. It's had a few cyber pull abilities, or Rokushiki, being Soru, Geppo, and Iron Body. The thing is, Killer had learned Iron Body, Coby had learned Soru, Usopp had learned Geppo, just mainly because it's good for running away. So, yeah. So during this time, eventually, Usopp kind of has the same clothes he does post-time skip, it's just he doesn't have green stars, and he doesn't have a goatee. But he's still insanely buff. Coby kind of looks how he does post-time skip as well, and he's just about as strong, just no hockey. Well, Luffy actually can use observation pretty well, actually. He's been in hundreds of battles, and those hundreds of battles accumulated to him learning observation. And the person that has it besides him is Killer, actually. Killer uses weapons, and Luffy just comes up in close combat a lot. But Luffy and Killer are the ones with observation. So, yeah. Coby can actually learn it soon, it's just he's not quite there yet. This makes sense that Coby can learn it in just a few months without having the training for hockey. So, Coby may be a prodigy when it comes to that. But yeah, eventually they head back to the East Blue, because actually I had gotten a lot more information on this. And Nami actually helped them get an island full of, just the whole map of the South Blue, and the whole map of the East Blue, and the whole map of the Grand Line separating them from the East. They actually have a giant map in they have a meeting room there. The ship's huge. It's about as big as Kid and Killer's cannon ship, which is bigger than the Sunny. The ship is bigger than all of the supernovas. Their ship is huge. So they have a giant meeting room, and in that ship, well, not in the ship, in the meeting room, they have a giant poster, which is just the whole room is covered in just giant posters. So yeah, this poster just show the whole South Blue mapped out, the whole East Blue set mapped out, the whole Grand Line mapped out. Now, this eventually, when they head back to the East Blue, they stop by Shimosuke Village because they want to know if there's big, strong swordsmen there. And Zoro happened to be, he happened to stop by there just to actually get his sword polished because he doesn't know how to do it. And it's actually around a month before Luffy had met Zoro in Canon. While Luffy's there, eventually he comes across Zoro, and Zoro said he's the strongest one here. Luffy actually asked Zoro to be on his crew, but Johnny Yosuke attacked Luffy, but Killer shot them both, using his scythe blades. And Killer doesn't really cover his face the whole time, kind of has a Sub-Zero mask, kind of wears that. So, yeah. But usually it just has long hair covering his face most of the time. Luffy's bounty rose up to around 80 million because he took over the South Blue and the East Blue, half of it, with no effort, really. But, yeah, so Zoro fought Luffy after Killer stopped running Yosuke himself. You see Gem actually defeating a few not ninja, but a few swordsmen as well. The Little Strike crew defeats a lot of people there, while Luffy just defeated Zoro himself. The thing is, Zoro didn't get one hit in on Luffy. What Zoro realizes is that he says that he'll join Luffy's crew, and he'll be Luffy's lowest rank. There's no need to be that low, but I guess because you're new, you'll be a chore boy for a while. So nodded, saying, "Alright then." As they leave, the village question why Luffy isn't robbing them all. He's just here for a crewmate, not for anything else. He doesn't rob people. He's not that kind of pirate. He jumps on the boat, waving goodbye as Johnny Yosuke actually had left. And Zoro insists on them staying here to protect the village. So, yeah. So, with this, we can just go on. And Luffy eventually had met, Sanji the same way. They stopped by the Bratze for food. This time, while they're there, they actually come across Kuro's crew. When actually, Galdino point out they're part of Kuro's crew, they defeat them all. And we'll go over everyone's current age right now. Kid is 21. Killer is 25. Galdino is 35. Inazuma is 27, Gem is 24, Sanji and Zoro are both 19, Nami is going to be 18, when she met Luffy she was 16, when Usopp met Luffy he was 15, and Frankie is not here yet, so just everyone else that I named besides Frankie. But yeah, so everyone's just, so Nami and Usopp are both like Nami's 18, Usopp is 17, and Zoro is 19. But yeah, so Kuro's crew fights Luffy. Well, they try to fight Luffy, but Galdino, Jam, and Enies step in the way, defeating them all. And then when it comes to the Mabin brothers, Zoro shows his strength by defeating them all. Zoro currently, well, shockingly, everyone's stronger than him. Everyone is. Even Galdino and Jem are. The person that matches his level would be Usopp and Coby. Those two have been locked in dozens of battles, more than Zoro has. The East and South are constantly at war. Well, not at war, but they try to take over Luffy's territory. They try to, and Luffy never lets it happen because he wants his title to be the same, and that results in hundreds of battles. So everyone there is just always fighting. Coby and Usopp have been in the least amount of battle, and they've still been in over 15 fights. 15 fights that almost cost lives. So they're always left in battle until Zoro is always stronger than someone. So yeah. With this we go on, and eventually Sanji would join the crew. Luffy actually wanted to fight him because that's how Luffy gets his crew members. If he beats you in a fight, you have to join his crew. So yeah. Eventually when Luffy does beat Sanji joins the crew, and Zeph says it was a bet, so Sanji has to obey the bet. And Sanji joins the crew, and realizes how big the ship is, how big the kitchen is, saying it's bigger than the Bratier's kitchen, which he can work in better. So with that, well, plus there's Nami on the crew, so he likes that. But, yeah. Eventually they head back to South Blue, because there's no one else they want. Then they head back to the South Blue, where they encounter Robin. I was going to have them meet Robin earlier, but I changed my mind. Living in the South Blue, well, they encounter Crocodile's crew. Because Crocodile wanted Galdino and Jem. Finding their abilities most useful. But Jem basically just began attacking Crocodile first, but was defeated by Mr. One. Mr. One began fighting Zoro. At this point, Luffy when he canonically meets Zoro, this is around the time that they're fighting Crocodile now. Well, Zoro begins fighting Mr. One, and Zoro quickly became the strongest one in the crew, one of them at least. Only Kid and Luffy outmatched Zoro in power. So Zoro begins fighting Mr. One and wins after a bit. It took him actually a few hours to beat Mr. One. Him and Mr. One were actually locked equals in power. Luffy actually is able to figure out water's weakness halfway through the fight. And had Killer and Kid basically just throw water on Luffy and Crocodile occasionally. And with that, Luffy was able to defeat him, while Kid had easily beaten Mr. 2 with no effort. Mr. 2 literally tried to attack Killer and Kid, and Killer stabbed him right through the chest with the blade, and then he fell over unconscious. Eventually he was patched up, but he was stabbed in the chest. He doesn't die, though. But eventually they call the Marines, and Marines arrest Crocodile and his crew, and then punish Crocodile by actually disbanding him as a warlord, or disowning him as a warlord. So this kind of eliminates the whole Alabasta arc. But with this, eventually they leave, the Rats leave, and now they head back into the South Blue. Not South Blue, in the East Blue. These Blue, they actually now want to conquer the whole East Blue themselves, or own it now. But this they fight Smoker first, and Luffy fights Smoker. He begins evading all of his attacks, and eventually they're able to more or less, Luffy's able to defeat him, just takes a long time. He kind of waited till Smoker was out of energy, and didn't have enough energy to transform into smoke, and Luffy landed a good punch, and it knocked him out. So yeah. But with this, Smoker's defeated, and now they actually control the whole East Blue. With that, Luffy heads over to Grand Line, or Red Line, and they meet Crocus and the Boon, and they go the same way. It's just there's a lot more people in the crew. And the thing is, Robin wasn't arrested. She snuck onto the ship, and they know she's there. So she's on the crew right now. They have so many miscellaneous areas, or so many areas that don't have rooms that they are able to carve open one area and just cave in an area, and they're able to make a room out of that. So, yeah. The ship is just unnecessarily large. And something Inazuma share a room because they're really good handymen. Kid and Killer share a room, and Zoro and Sanji share a room because Luffy thinks it'd be good for them to bond because they usually hate each other. So yeah. And Coby just has his own room, and Luffy has his own room. Nami has her own room. Galdino and Jem have their own room as well. So yeah. But with this, also, Nami shares her room with Robin right now because that's a girl's room. That's like the girls' area because Nami had a big room already. She wanted the biggest room that they had, but those were taken up by Luffy, so she just made her own room that was bigger than Luffy's, and she shares it with Robin now. So yeah. But with this, we move on. Alabasta Arc, they stop by to hang out there for a bit. They meet Ace. The first time, Dorian Brocky went the same way. So did the whole thing at at Drum Island went the same way. I guess I would say it went the same way. Just no VV there. But yeah, they mostly went there because they were low on food. That's really it. And Nami was sick. So yeah. Eventually they stopped by Alabasta just to hang out for a bit. Encountered Vivi, who actually wanted to thank them by giving them a royal feast. And Ace was actually invited because Ace is part of Luffy's family. And they also know who Ace is. All of them do, besides Sanji, Usopp, Chopper, and so it's only Kid, Killer, Galdino, Inazuma, and Gem know who Ace is, plus Luffy. But they all know he's part of Whitebeard's crew. Plus, Whitebeard's actually aware that Luffy and his crew controlled the whole East and South Blue. And the Marines are point where they are kind of being forced out of the East and South Blue because Luffy's such a good influence on the whole area. Like he's good, he's not evil or anything. Luffy's like the only pirate crew for each blue. No one dares attack. Oh, by the way, Buggy was forced out by the time Luffy 16. By the time Luffy 16, he forced Buggy out of the East. So yeah, Buggy is kind of suffering in the Grand Line right now, just suffering. And you can't go in the South Blue because Luffy controls that too. The Marines are kind of forced out of it, and Garp knows this. Garp is just amazed that Luffy can do that right now. Also, Whitebeard's like the only exception by now because Luffy made like a report to a few islands saying like East Blue why Whitebeard Fleet and Red-Haired Fleet are allowed in the South Blue and East Blue. Got that? Like cool, and we won't charge them as well because like perfect. So yeah. Well, Shanks is aware of Luffy controlling the East and the South, but not ruling with an iron fist. He was under a free nation, not nation, just under his free, like, it's just completely free. Like, there's no, like, there's laws there, sure, but there's no marine or pirate activity. So, yeah, it's just a completely peaceful area. But the one thing that does actually lead to a problem is Luffy Beijing hates Luffy, and Beijing can't get into the South Blue because he's always bombarded with missiles from every direction, or cannons from every direction, if he tries to go encounter some island. Like, he's chased off of multiple islands to the point where he took over, like, one island in the South Blue, and then got kicked out of him by Luffy and Kid. That's about it. But if you guys aren't happy with Kid being the vice captain, it doesn't matter. Luffy met Kid first, and Kid, he didn't meet Kid first, he met Killer first properly, or properly met Killer first, but Kid was the one that was more like Luffy, and Luffy and Kid got along a lot better first. The point where Kid is kind of like Luffy's brother now, or kind of is Luffy's brother. But yeah. Now this, eventually we go on, and we just see them eat the huge castle. They have Chopper on the crew now because Chopper joined the crew, and Chopper's age right now is 15. So the ages of everyone's like Kid 23. Killer's 27. Kid is 21. Killer is 25. Galdino's 35. He's the oldest one in the crew right now. Inazuma is 27. Gem is 24. Zoro's 19. Sanji's 19. Nami is 18. Usopp is 17. Then Robin is 28. And Chopper is 15. Coby is 16. So yeah. Now with this, we eventually just move on past Drum Island and past Alabasta to Jaya. As they get to Jaya, on Jaya, they eventually come across Bellamy, but Bellamy actually bows down to Luffy saying that he's a cool pirate, like he's a pirate inspiration. And the thing is, in the Worst Generation, I don't think Killer's part of the Worst Generation, let me check. The Worst Generation consists of 9 pirate crews. Kid and Killer are kind of part of Luffy's crew. Zoro's was considered one member of the Worst Generation because he's so strong compared to the rest of Luffy's crew, like how fast he grew. So, like Luffy can't technically be considered can be considered one because Luffy more or less was a bounty hunter at first because he didn't want to be a pirate just yet. He wanted a bigger crew, but then it's like, all right, screw it, we'll be pirates now because he got Usopp who wanted to be a pirate so badly. So yeah. On Jaya, Bellamy bows down, thinking of Luffy as like a pirate god, basically. Luffy's bounty currently, when he met Zoro, was 80 million. But now Luffy defeated Smoker, and now defeated Crocodile, and we'll also defeated Arlong, and we'll also defeated Don Green's crew, because still defeated by Mihawk, Zoro didn't meet Mihawk, so yeah, Zoro never fought him yet. Also telling you right now, Zoro will fight Mihawk at Marineford. He'll be involved. Most of Luffy's crew will be involved at Marineford, probably not all of them, but most of them. But yeah. Well, with this, we just go on. And Luffy's bounty currently is going to be, I'll say, Luffy's bounty may right now be around 140 million. Then below him is going to be Zoro, who rose through ranks in power a lot faster. Actually, probably Kid, actually. Kid would be at a bounty of over 120 million. Behind him is going to be Zoro, who's at 100 million. Behind Zoro is going to be Killer. And Killer and Sanji are tied in power right now. Killer's going to be at 80 million. Sanji's going to be at actually 85 million. Those two that Zoro and Sanji have is kind of just like it's kind of like a rivalry triangle between Zoro, Sanji, and Killer. Even though Kid and Luffy are like the peaks of power in the crew. But I'm gonna go over some bounties real quick. Let me pause. So this is kind of ranked by strength, and Inuzuma's pretty low on here because his ability is very like straightforward. But Inazuma isn't really the physically strongest on the crew, and his ability is more or less in his arms, where his physicality would count. He's really fast. That's about it. And it can be deadly if he's fast because it's Devil Fruit, sure. But really, Inuzuma's not really too up there with the crew. Plus, I don't like him as much as everyone else. So, highest bounty on the crew being Luffy at 140 million. Then behind him being Kid, the vice captain, at 120 million. Behind Kid being Zoro, 100 million berries. Behind Zoro, Sanji, 85 million. Killer, 80 million. Sanji at 85 million. Killer's at 80 million, despite them being both tied in power. Usopp is at 50 million. That's a pretty high drop, I know. Coby, 49.8 million. Pretty close behind Usopp. Gem, 46 million. Galdino, 44 million. Robin, 79 million. It is ranked up by power. Inazuma, 42 million. Chopper, 500 berries. And Nami, 41 million. So no one's below 40 million. It's a pretty big thing on the crew. So yeah, well, Chopper's below 400 million. Chopper's below 40 million. Because he's Chopper, they think he's a pet. Yeah. But now back to Jaya. Well, if they meet Cricket, we would have basically just Zoro, Sanji, Killer, Usopp, Coby, and Nami dive for treasure. They come up with tons of it. So yeah. Plus, Kid can hold out his hand put his hand in the water, then just use Delphin and just track all the gold to him. So yeah. And so when they do that. They have tons of gold, so Cricket gives them half of it, and that stores up their whole treasure room. As they have a biggest treasure room. Then melt down some of the gold. So yeah. But they kind of reduced each arc by like half the time because Bellamy. There's no whole thing with Bellamy, and there's Teach. They already had a bad feeling about him, and they know who it is with help of Killer and Inazuma and Galdino's intelligence. So yeah, they know who he is and just ignore him the whole time. But eventually, still shot in the sky. To go Skypiea, they give the lady some of the gold that they have from Cricket, which gives them some room in their gold room, or treasure room, and she accepts it. And they meet Paguya, and Cronus, and eventually they're not attacked by those like random sky soldiers. And eventually they want to go fight Enel because they think he'd be a good challenge. So yeah, this they walk right into the whole Verth thing with Wiper and his crew. But Luffy establishes to Wiper that they can take all of Wiper's weapons in a second. So yeah. But then we have Luffy. We have like basically all Luffy's crew can should be a one-man army. Even Nami and Robin, who are one woman armies. Then we have Chopper, who's a one reindeer army. They're all just strong as all hell. Nami has a climate attack. Robin has her Devil Fruit, which can just use multiple attacks. Inazuma is just insanely fast. He's fast, but I don't like him that much. So. Yeah. But Inazuma can still deliver some good damage in. And Usopp just has like his Firebird Star, which can just burn a lot. So, yeah. Usopp's not really an army, he needs like a partner, which is Chopper. So, yeah. But eventually this Enel's whole crew is wiped out in less than 20 minutes, and leaving Enel only. Well, yeah, Enel's like the last one up. Sanji was fighting Enel, he's pushing Enel back a lot, and Usopp actually putting up a good fight to attack Enel. But the thing is, only Coby could dodge Enel's attacks as he's tapping an observation briefly. So, yeah. With this, Coby was able to somewhat make Enel pissed off enough to leave, and then Zoro had fought Enel, but Zoro was a lot faster than Enel is, so was able to somewhat push him at bay, keep him at bay from Robin. The thing is, Zoro was holding Robin in one arm the whole time, and Zoro had his sword sheathed. He was attacking Enel, and wouldn't let Enel touch his metal blade, because... Well, Inazuma warned, since they have a lot of metal, that Luffy's the only one that can fight Enel because he's made of rubber. He wouldn't be affected by lightning. And if you have metal, then you'd be more affected. So Zoro's fighting with a sheathed sword. But yeah. But with this, we just go on and we see, like, just them. Well, first Luffy's fighting Enel. But Luffy already uses Gear Second pretty effectively and defeats Enel in only a few seconds. Like, Enel gets the Lucci treatment. Like, he gets the whole, like a Gumu Gumu no Jet Gatling. And it's pummeled by it to the point where Enel's traumatized. Like, Enel is, like, he did the whole, like, the shocked face when Luffy went Gear Second, outspeeding Enel. Luffy currently is outspeeding Lightning pretty easily. And traumatizes Enel with a Jet Gatling attack, so he wins. But then they get that giant ore thing. Before they leave, like, they think they're trying to attack them with that cannon, but Kid's like, it's made of gold, I'll take it. He just his devil fruit and sends it flying towards them and catches it with his bare hands. No, they fall from the sky. So, yeah. The G5 arc, they basically just destroy all of G5 in minutes. They are a crew made of chaos. So before, they're all one-man armies besides Usopp and Inazuma. Those are just only two. Inazuma is just Inazuma, when he did at Marineford, he may actually be considered a one-man army, so just Usopp only. It's just Usopp. Usopp's the only one that needs help with the army. Chopper has Monster Point. He's good. But yeah. But Zoro learned how to use scythes from Killer, because him and Killer are actually really good friends. They're really good friends. They're rivals with their friends. Him and Sanji are kind of the same way, it's just they don't show that they're friends. While Killer and Sanji may genuinely hate each other, we don't know. Only those two do. But no one knows if they genuinely hate each other. But, yeah. Well, this, they arrive at Water 7 eventually. Their ship is still told, like, oh yeah, the ship has to be destroyed. It's way too messed up. So before the crew has seen hundreds of battles, and they've had the ship since Luffy was 14. And Luffy right now is 17, the ship's been out for 3 years. And they've been in countless battles, they fell from the sky not even 3 days ago, so the ship is definitely worn down. The thing that makes this people most sad is going to be Luffy and Kid. So, Luffy, Kid, Killer, Luffy, Jam, Galdino, Inazuma. So Luffy, Kid, Killer, Jam, Galdino, and Inazuma. They're the ones that are most upset about this because they've had the ship for years. They've had it for years. With this, Luffy just been tearing up, and he says, "Fine, we'll burn it." At least no fight against Luffy or Usopp because Usopp doesn't have the Mary. It's not the Mary. So then at least we'll fight versus Luffy and Kid. He says, "Damn it, I will not let you burn the ship down. We can try to get Sabaody at least. We can get it repaired there." He says, "No, we said the ship cannot sail past one more island, and we're going in the Florian Triangle. Well, we could be trapped in there for all we know, and our ship could sink at any moment. We're not going on the ship." There's a fight between Kid and Luffy, and eventually Luffy just uses Gear Second. And when the fight starts, to dash and hit Killer right in the jaw to knock him out. Not Killer, I mean hit Kid in the jaw and knock him out. So, yeah, he wins. But immediately, the guy had seen Gear Second immediately. Kaku Lucci got nervous as all hell. It was faster than Lucci can move, and they know it. But with this, I guess the rest of the arc would go the same. It's just Kid, it takes the more Usopp approach, being butthurt about the ship being destroyed. So, yeah. But he stays there for it to burn down, and then as he leaves, he says he's leaving the crew. But Killer stays with Luffy, Killer stays with Luffy. So, yeah. All of Killer's loyalty, yes, whereas Kid is kind of transferred to Luffy right now, but he's still loyal to Kid. All of them are. They're all loyal to Kid and Luffy. They're gods to them, basically. So, yeah. Like, if Zoro was told to take the pain for Kid or Luffy, he would take the pain for both of them either way. He doesn't care. They're his captains. He respects them a lot. But also Killer is like his best friend besides Quina and Luffy and Kid. But he's more friends with Killer than he is with Kid, even though him and Kid are occasionally good friends. And he doesn't like to admit it, but he also take a hit for Sanji as well. So he took a hit for everyone in the crew, actually. But we go on, and we eventually see them Robin and Frank. Robin and Frankie still kidnapped. Usopp is jumped by Frank apparently, but actually fights them all off. But eventually his money's taken because he gets shot right in the stomach, which actually does piss off Luffy. But Luffy finds out Usopp with a gunshot wound. Luffy just bandages up his body and runs right into Frankie family hideout and destroys them all. Like, Luffy's just almost killing them all, even Frankie. Frankie is almost beaten to death by Luffy. The Luffy just is calmed down, and is like, he'll live, it's not fatal. But Luffy threatens to kill Frankie if he sees him again. So, yeah. So Frankie's family this time shot Usopp, not beat him up. They tried to, but they failed until they shot him. Which more or less would lead to, like, the next arc being Water 7, being the Enies Lobby arc. Yeah. So this, I guess, we can go on to just, like, the Enies Lobby arc. Well, this was taking the sea train there, and the ship is stuck to the brim. Whatever the sea train is. Eventually, we see Sanji jump onto the boat. Sanji kicks the crap out of everyone there. He's a lot stronger than he is in canon. He's on the level that he is. Not possibly, actually. I'd put him on like the level that he's at Sabaody, which I think is a good increase, because he fought Morio's crew. Like, he's on the Sabaody level, so he defeats everyone on the ship, just not Lucci. Him and Lucci actually fight to a standstill. But eventually, Sanji had less stamina and passes out. Which leads to Lucci throwing him in the water, but as he's thrown off the ship, Lucci grabs him using his double fruit, catching him. And Kid is not dumb enough to use so King Disguise, that doesn't work on him. So, let me pause real quick. So, instead of going by Sogi King, he still has like a disguise with like a giant metal mask, like an iron mask. And he's called Junku King, which is Junk King. So, yeah. And Luffy is not as dumb as he can. He's an average intelligence. He's able to tell that Junku King is Kid. So, yeah, but he ignores it. Well, he didn't know at first, because he's still kind of like canonical Luffy. It's just he figured out by him just being able to use like metal arms to attack, and figured out that's Kid's ability. So, yeah. But on Enies Lobby, they basically defeat every single person in their way. Inazuma's the reason that they're able to defeat most of the CP9, because he cuts down half their building. But then with Inazuma doing that, Galdino covered it in wax, and then that kind of stuck everyone in place for a while. But with this, eventually everyone's able to more or less attack. Frankie would fight Fukuro with the help of Chopper. Chopper actually would fight Fukuro on this one, not Kumidori. Kumidori instead would fight Gem and Coby. You know how Coby can basically just like dashes so like the air until he passes the point it looks like he's flying? Kuken does that to finish off Kumidori with a strong punch to the jaw, knocking him out. But Gem basically blew off one of Kumidori's arms, paralyzing him for a bit. Then Coby gave a strong punch to the jaw, knocking him out. But then with Kaku, we see basically just Kaku versus Killer, Zoro, and Inazuma. And Inazuma cut off Kaku's tail, which actually made Kaku bleed out for a while until Zoro and Killer gave him one good slice to the chest each. So that's like two slices for Killer and 3 for Zoro. So 5 slices to the chest plus one cut off tail. So yeah, Galdino basically just fended off all the Marines. So yeah. Chopper had fought Fukuro, Nami fought Khalifa, Sanji fended off the Marines with Galdino alongside Kid as well. So yeah. With this, eventually Zoro does lose one of his swords, but immediately Killer will actually jump in the air, stabbing one of the scythes right through the chest of Shu. With that, Shu dies, and Zoro's like, finally, well, now my sword is avenged. And Zoro uses his 2 swords to cut down basically every single Marine in this path. But actually, the whole Buster Cult fended off with the Straw Hats, and they defeat the whole Buster Cult themselves. They burned down the ship earlier, but they still have the sea train, and they take it back. So, yeah. But with this, eventually, well, first off, Lucci got the hell beat out of him pretty easily at that. Like, I don't mention the fight because it was so easy for Luffy. He had mastered Gear Second already. He's had Gear Second for almost a year. He's had her for almost a year. And he just gives the absolute beatdown of a lifetime to Lucci using it. So, yeah. By the way, if you guys wonder about like who Kid fought, if it was notable, he fought Doberman and I forgot the other guy's name, but Doberman and the other guy, I forgot. Oh yeah, Doberman and Dalmatian, those two. He fought those 2 guys and actually won. Basically using his devil to bend their swords right through their bodies, and then made them just fall over bleeding a lot. So they lost because they didn't see it coming from Kid. They didn't know who it was. Well, eventually Luffy would head back to the sea train, and I'm pause real quick. So, the Straw Hats should get a bigger bounty increase to them holding off a Buster Call and defeating the whole Buster Call themselves, and defeating all members of CP9, and, well, no one died. At least on the Straw Hat side, no one died. A few Marines died. Luffy's bounty would jump with just skyrocket up to 290 million due to him defeating Lucci, and is a one-sided fight according to other Marines. One-sided fight. That's what they got from that. And with him being the captain of the crew that's supposedly weaker than him, 290 million. The Junko King killed two vice admirals, but they're able to figure out the abilities that he had used as Kid, and his bounty would jump up to 260 million. So yeah, they put Luffy above vice admirals, but not on the level of admirals yet because he hasn't displayed hockey. At least he hasn't displayed armament hockey yet. So yeah. Zoro would jump to 230 million. Then Sanji would jump to 180 million. Killer jumps up to 180 million as well. Usopp is at 140 million. Then we would have Coby at 115 million. Coby dropped down a little bit because Usopp actually got some fire and actually killed a few by accident. Coby didn't kill anyone. Gem, or Mr. 5, is at 109 million. Galdino is at 109 million for Gem, 105 million for Galdino. Robin is at 100 million. Inazuma is at 98 million. Chopper is at 2,000 berries. Nami is at 90 million. And Frankie is at 60 million. Sunny is still built, just takes up a lot more time. And they should have a lot more time to spare because, well, why not? They literally had no Alabasta arc. They got the Straw Hats a lot earlier to the point where some arcs didn't even happen. Some arcs never even happened at all. A lot of East Blue arcs were ignored because they never happened at all. So they have a lot more time to spare. Like they have like a month's worth of time to spare, which leads to no Celestial Dragon. I'm telling you right now, there's no Celestial Dragons that they're to meet yet, at least. So yeah. But we go on throughout having their giant Sunny built, and it takes Frankie plus Inazuma and Usopp, and starts even pitch in to learn how to build a ship and repair and maintain the ship. It takes them all a total of around 3 weeks. Not quite 1 month yet. The ship is built, it's huge, and, well, everyone calls the ship their pride and joy. The ship is put in the water, and they have a giant lion head, but looks a lot more fierce on Kid's request. So, yeah, Kid had the option, and Luffy said, sure, why not? So, yeah. They all have their rooms, they're a little bit bigger, and Frankie and Inazuma and Usopp share a room, because they have the giant workshop, and they're okay with sharing a room, because they all work on the ship, they're the ones that maintain it. We have Kid who could also share a room with them, but doesn't want to. He's okay with sharing a room with Killer. So, yeah. So Zoro and Sanji still share a room, because why not? Chopper just shares a room with the girls, because he likes it. It smells nice to him. But yeah, it smells like flowers. I'm playing on that because of Robin's Devil Fruit, flower fruit. Plus also, kind of just fun in there because it's also a humid room. Nami just weather thing, kind of like a rainforest kind of effect in the room. Well, but we move on and go over to basically just the fucking, what was it? Yeah, the Flowing Triangle arc / the Pillar Bark arc. Thing is, it kind of goes the same way. It's just Luffy's a lot stronger than he is in canon, but Luffy never has a shadow stolen. Zoro gives the hands to Ryuma, and Zoro ends up getting Shusui. This time, actually, well, first off, Killer's the one that has Shadow stolen. Zoro just gets it back for him because Killer was unconscious the whole time. And when his Shadow stolen was Kid, and the Kid's Shadow was put inside of Oars. Luffy gives Oars the beatdown of a lifetime because Oars doesn't have magnetism. So, yeah. Everything most goes the same way. But this time the one to take the pain for Luffy is still Zoro. Zoro takes it, but every straw solid, just not Luffy because he was beaten up by Moria still. He's still pretty tired, though. So most stars see it. The ones that didn't see it would be Kid and Luffy. That's about it. There's the ones that don't know what happened. So, yeah, they're both unconscious. But eventually with this, we go on, and Zoro actually makes everyone not to tell Kid and Luffy, as they're the ones that would be the most worried about him, despite him being pretty injured, and Chopper should be the one most worried about him. So, yeah. Kid would feel useless that he couldn't take the pain for his brother. And, well, Zoro doesn't want Kid to feel that way. But also doesn't want Luffy to feel guilty that he let Zoro get hurt that bad. So, this is when Zoro says, Kuma beat me up. That's it. And this when Kid's like, hey, you should have given up, you idiot. You wouldn't have been beaten up this bad. But eventually Brook returns to the crew, and Brook would get a bounty. So, yeah. Pause. So, Brook's bounty is going to be 40 million, the lowest in the crew. Frankie's at 60 million. Yeah. Well, eventually, actually, they actually all get a bounty increase, and then I need to sort that out. So, yeah, pause again. I'm sorry. Okay, so while I was writing down the bounties, I'll go over those in a second. But I realized the one thing. I hit my desk. My phone fell. My bad. That was one thing is that basically I didn't go over. Well, first there's an inconsistency in the bounties, or there may be one to you. I know why there is. I'll explain it later. But also realized I didn't go over Shelltown. I'll go over why. Just because I know Shelltown wouldn't happen because Coby would not lead them there. There's no need for them to head there. Well, I basically had Commander Ripper basically just sneak off and basically tell Garp, like basically call the Marines, they send Garp over, and Garp beats the hell out of Morgan. So yeah, and Garp trained Telebo personally. So that's really it. Also, Garp would not be at Water 7 because, well, Luffy is not Luffy, but because Garp's busy training Telebo. So yeah. But we move on and just go over the bounties now. Luffy at 320 million. Kuma put in a good word for them all. That's why their bounty got so high. Luffy 320 million. Kid 315 million. Zoro 300 million. Sanji 240 million. Then we go over to Killer 23 million. Not 23 million. 236 million. Usopp 230 million. Coby 220 million. Gem 215 million. Galdino, 210 million. Robin, 190 million. Inazuma, 186 million. Chopper, 4,000. Nami, 170 million. 170 million. Then Frankie, 90 million. And Brooks at 40 million. So, yeah. They all had really good words. And the reason that they're all kind of spread apart is based off of power. That's about it. That's really it. Just power. So with this, we just go on to like just Luffy to just them getting to Sabaody. And the thing is, they arrive a week early, which leads to Rayleigh not being a slave. Kami not being a slave. Her name's Kami, I'm pretty sure. Kami isn't a slave. No one's a slave. Which does lead to no admiral fight. So they stay there for a week, and actually they all train under Rayleigh as he brought them all to Ruskaina. On Ruskaina, they trained there for a week, and Luffy already had observation haki, so did Zoro. And Coby actually unlocked it on the way to Sabaody. After the week, they head back, and Luffy actually has a brief understanding of armament haki, and so does Zoro. They already used haki. They were already average users of it. That's why Luffy escaped the fight from Luffy with no marks. He's able to avoid all of Lucci's hits. The only reason Luffy ended up being hurt from Moria was because Moria had so much large area environment attacks that hurt Luffy occasionally. So yeah. So we should go on to basically just Luffy arriving back at Sabaody. And when he arrives back, well, Rayleigh isn't a slave, but Kami was actually kidnapped as Kami was to leave. Her and Hachi are about to leave until Kami's kidnapped. And Hachi reports that back to Luffy, and they still have the whole guys that one of them looks like the drawing of Sanji, so that kind of goes the same way. Luffy punches absolute hell right out of Charlos. Admirals arrive, but this time it's Law being the new addition to the group. Law is he's still his own crew. It's just Law, the Sharks see that these strong pirates are here. But actually wants to see how strong they are up close. But he sees Kid jump in, and Kid and Luffy fight with such technique that they're wild guys, sure, but still they have such elegance to their technique. They had mastered it, spent years perfecting it. So yeah, and Zoro actually asks Law if he's impressed, and Law says yeah. Zoro says that those two spent Luffy spent a decade mastering all forms of karate to their peak. Luffy's probably one of the best martial artists on the planet. And when Law hears this, he's amazed. And that explains why Luffy seems to be able to dodge bullets like nothing. And Zoro explains that there's some unknown form of technique that only true warriors have. So Zoro displays his ability to use it by cutting down a vice admiral that arrived in 1 second. And now Law's jaw dropped that the crew is as strong. So Kid, Zoro, and Luffy all use armament observation haki. They all do. Coby just spends time mastering observation haki, though. By the way, if you guys are wondering why I don't include Rokushiki, there's no need for it. They're all insanely strong. Kobe's comparable to Sabaody Luffy. That's how strong that Coby is. Sanji and Killer, they all use observation. They both do, and they can kick the crap out of Luffy, who's on Sabaody. So yeah, most of the Sharks can. Usopp can. Well, he actually would tie with that Luffy, while we have Coby, who would just more or less keep him at bay. So yeah. The one that would lose is most likely Gem, because he doesn't use any form of hockey. He's learning how to do it. Luffy isn't. But this Luffy are so strong, or Sabaody Luffy would be the beat Gem. So he'd barely beat Gem. Same with Galdino. He would barely beat these Straw Hats. He would barely beat them. So yeah, well, his Sabaody Luffy crew would lose horribly. I have Luffy who's barely able to beat Jam, Galdino, Robin, Inazuma, Chopper, Nami, Frankie, and Brook. He would barely beat them. So yeah. But we should move on to I guess just when Kizaru arrives. Kizaru arrives, he fights them all and actually thinks they're very impressive as a pirate crew that's not even in the New World yet. They keep on fighting, Kuma does arrive, but Luffy's ready to beat the hell out of Kuma. Ready to do so. Also tells Inazuma that him and Inazuma will team up on him alongside Galdino. So he formed a strategy to help. Law also helped him form a strategy because he revealed the whole Kuma thing to them. But as Luffy, Galdino, and Luffy, Galdino, and Inazuma fighting Kuma, actually, Inazuma's whole thing is he cuts up the ground around them, and Luffy's able to tell where Kuma's going to be. So Inazuma cuts that up, and as Kuma actually lands, he's unstable. This leads to more or less Galdino kind of waxing his legs to the ground, like covering and waxing them stuck to the ground. Luffy then uses that Gatling on his arms, and begins firing it right into Kuma's chest over and over and over again. Only Inazuma cuts his face horribly. Then Luffy delivers a punch right there, sending Kuma flying away. As Kuma lands, then attacks them again, sends Inazuma flying, as he sends them flying to New Common Land. Luffy actually thought that Kuma killed Inazuma and went berserk, being getting sloppy, and sends Luffy all the way over to, Amazon Lily. Then Kuma was able to basically evade a bit after just panting and sweating a bit, that he's just this beaten up, because his face is pouring blood. Using his last bit of energy, actually sends Sanji to New Common Land as well, and last attack was send Robin all the way to, where could she go? Actually, I think Chopper and Usopp benefit the most, so sends those two flying away as well. But he falls over, leaving, Luffy is not too far away. Rayleigh knows this, he knows. It would leave Luffy, Kid, Zoro, Killer, Coby, Gem, Galdino, Inazuma, Luffy, Kid, Zoro, Killer, Coby, Gem, Galdino, Nami, Frankie, and Brook. I'm keeping Nami here because the rest could have an adventure that isn't the New World yet. They can just have a giant adventure. So, yeah. Actually, I think all the rest should be sent flying besides Luffy, Kid, and Killer, and Zoro. Just those ones that stay beside Coby. So, Luffy. Show this. I'll tell you right now. Zoro's going to stay with Luffy, but after Marineford, Miyako will say he's taking taking Zoro to train. He's taking Zoro and Killer to train. So Miyako's going to train those two, saying that he finds value and promise in those two, and he'll train them both. So yeah. So Luffy, Kid, Zoro, Killer, and Coby are the ones that are not sent flying, or Luffy is the only one that's close by. And really, she doesn't know how far Luffy would be sent flying after Kuma would whisper it to him before Kuma passes out and is taken away by Kizaru. Really says, so the only island 3 days away for Luffy, at least, the one he estimates Luffy's the closest one, says Amazon Lily. They should head there in a few days. So Luffy kind of does the same thing at Amazon Lily, until Boa Hancock says, just basically say that she's beautiful. Luffy does admit she's a very, very attractive lady, just Luffy doesn't care about those. He doesn't care about anyone, besides his own crew, and the One Piece. Everyone took that as Luffy doesn't care about Boa Hancock and started yelling at Luffy. Please, he just yelled, shut up, and that shut up, he used Conqueror's Haki by accident. Because he doesn't want to do it by will. He just kind of did it in the midst of just intense emotion. So, yeah. But it's more or less at least Luffy going on and actually, he ends up going to, what was it? First off, the trucks come and pick him up, or at least Kid, Killer, and Zoro do, and Coby. Plus Rayleigh. They pick up Luffy, and they bring him back, and Luffy talks about Ace at Marineford. So they begin heading to Impel Down to catch him there. And Galdino was arrested by Kizaru, because Galdino tried to run away, saying, let's split up. But he's the only one that tried to split up. Him and Gem are the ones that tried to split up, and they're arrested and put Impel down. So, yeah. Which more or less leads them all heading over to, Impel down. And that goes the same way, just Gem is with them. It's like he's the only new addition. Gem is. So, yeah. So, they escape Impel down, but the time Luffy fights Magellan, Luffy just gives an arm hockey punch right to his chest, knocking him out and almost killing him, just how much ribs are broken in that punch. Then fights Hannibal. Hannibal gets the hands from Zoro, and Zoro beats him. And with this, they find Jinbei, and Jinbei's there. But Jinbei also asks Luffy how strong he is if they're heading to Marineford, because they'd be useless while Whitebeard shows up. Luffy says that him, Zoro, and Kid are hockey users. Well, killers as well, both only observations of his Coby. When Jinbei, he just said, "All right, fine with that. We'd all be useful because I can use a brief bit of observation myself." So Luffy nods, and then they head to Marineford. When they arrive, well, they've been running through everyone. We see Buggy, who's actually pretty impressive there. That is a big ass dog. This is a sidetrack, but this dog walking my damn driveway, and this thing is huge. I am not sure it's a dog. I am not sure. It is just huge. I want to keep an eye on that thing because it scares me. But back to this. We go on to see Luffy, who just ends up more or less like fighting against Mihawk, but the Zoro and Killer take over, and they've been pushing Mihawk back a bit, with Vista helping them, admiring how strong they are, and how Zoro can even use hockey. And Zoro says he just learned it not even a month ago. He's new to it, but Vista gives him some tips and helps Killer awaken it mid-fight. Which Coby fights Helmpo and beats him, but barely. When Kobe's covered in blood, Helmpo cut Kobe's body up pretty good. But Luffy did tell Helmpo if they weren't enemies right now, they'd be good friends, and Helmpo agrees to this. But we see Luffy running up the whole, he's the one to cut up a path for Luffy, but instead it was Ivan who's able to throw Luffy up there. As Garp's about to punch Luffy back down to the ground, we see Coby jump in and put Garp in basically a chokehold and slam him down to the ground, as Coby just been choking Garp out. And Garp has to admit Coby would have made a great Marine, and as Garp said that Coby had said his dream was to be a Marine, up until he met Luffy, who trained his mind to find the One Piece, not the red line. To find the One Piece, and Coby can accomplish any dream he wants after that. Garp just smirked, telling Coby that he shouldn't follow Luffy, he should have become a Marine. But now Garp should have to beat the hell out of him. Up until we see Zoro appear right behind Garp, saying, "Don't touch Coby." That Garp's chest would realize there's a giant cut on it. Then we see Killer stab Garp right in the leg. Then Garp fall to one knee. Then headbutt Killer down to the ground and punch Zoro through the pillar that Zoro was tied. Not Zoro, that we see Garp punch Zoro through the pillar that Ace was restrained on. Which Sengoku yelled at him for, but Garp says, "My bad." The Kobe just slammed right into the ground one more time, up until Whitebeard intervenes, punching Garp in the face with Quake Bubble, sending him flying. So, yeah. This, Whitebeard admires the Strat's drive to protect Ace, but then he looks up seeing Ace is gone, and so is Luffy, but so is Sengoku. They look in the air, seeing Luffy's arm is inflated and giant, and Luffy had just yelled Elephant Magnum, slamming into Sengoku's chest, as Sengoku was in his Buddha form. That Sengoku slammed in the ice with Haki pushing his motion forward from Luffy, and Sengoku shoved right through the ice, and is now drowning. Immediately some Marines jump in, try to pull Sengoku out of the water, but he is just unconscious now. Luffy had landed, suddenly Akainu attacked him, but Akainu suddenly palm strike, or about to be palm strike, till Akainu just covers Luffy's arm in magma, and Luffy just begins burning from it. Luffy would yell in pain, but his pain, no one cares about it, besides, Straw Hats, which is only Kid, Killer, and Luffy and Coby, but Koby's unconscious. Marcos kind of healing Zoro, who was thrown insanely far away. But Zoro was seen as, one of the ones of value there, he knew how to use Haki. So, yeah. So, yeah. But we should go on to, Kid, who actually is doing something very important. He actually told Whitebeard to cover him, and he's going to be able to basically just pull all the bullets, knives, and everything away from Whitebeard. While Whitebeard, Kid, he just told Kid a secret, saying he's sick right now, and those actually could kill him in the war. It'd be unusual, but it could kill him because he can't use Haki anymore. So when Kid hears this, he says, fine, I'll help you. So with this, Kid is pulling away all the bullets and knives and everything. Just so Whitebeard isn't hit by this, which leads to Whitebeard actually being a very big deciding factor in the war. And Kid just fires all the bullets and knives back at the Marines, just killing a lot of them. But when Whitebeard arrives, Blackbeard arrives, just basically let out all gunfire that he can on Whitebeard until all the bullets are stopped in midair, but then flying right back into the crew. All of them being gunned down by their own bullets. Slowly they see Kid, and Whitebeard smirks thinking Kid, and Kid says no problem. But looks at Luffy, who was getting the dog shit beat out of him by Akainu. And Luffy and Akainu kind of locked in battle for a bit, but Ace was thrown away by Luffy saying, no, run, you're not allowed to fight here. With this, Luffy and Akainu are still fighting up until suddenly a loud noise is heard from the sky, and everyone's questioning who it is until they see someone land, and Akainu hits the ground unconscious. The person landed right by Luffy, and the person stood up saying, wow, you really are that reckless to fight an admiral head on, aren't you? Luffy's being painting saying, finally you're here, what took you so long? Sabo would catch Luffy who fell unconscious, and Sabo would say, sorry I'm late, I was busy. Sabo dashed down, attacking more people as he had knocked out Akainu using Ryuo. And with this, he defeats mostly everyone there that was attacking Luffy, up until Shanks arrived. Luffy was unconscious, but Kid was allowed to see Shanks. Actually asked Shanks to actually help them all get out of here. Shanks agreed to this, but by telling the Marines that if they want to continue fighting, they can fight him and his crew. I'm going to go over one important thing right now, but I have to pause. Alright, so, everyone gets higher bounties, but also Shanks escorts them all out of there. The highest bounty of Luffy is going to be 600 million. They need him pretty impressive to go blow for blow with an admiral. Plus he's friends with Sabo, or brothers of Sabo. 600 million for Luffy. For Kid, 540 million. Zoro, 500 million. Killer, 450 million for Killer, 450 million. Then Coby, 400 million. Gem, 360 million. Galdino, 360 million. Then that's about it for the Straw Hats. But then we just go on to more or less just see Luffy be trained by everyone else. Well, we'll just Rayleigh and Shanks briefly, because Shanks was awake. Well, not Luffy, Shanks. Well, Luffy woke up a bit faster. He saw the X in his chest. It was just, he wasn't traumatized from Ace dying because Ace didn't die. Luffy threw him to the side before he can get injured. And when Akainu hit Luffy in the chest with the red dog, Luffy just tanked it with Haki. So, yeah. With this, we go on and just see Luffy more or less just, well, drop. Not drop, but just, he's a pretty good fighter. Luffy had knocked Ryuo. Ryuo did in 2 years, so did Zoro, and so did Killer. Well, Zoro and Killer trained under Mihawk, because Mihawk took them both, and he'll train them both. And promised on Shanks, so, yeah. He trains Kid and Killer, and then those two unlock Ryuo. Or Killer briefly does, but it's really hard for him to maintain it for more than a minute. Well, Zoro, who already could use Armament Haki briefly well. So he's able to learn Ryuo in the past 1 year. Then in the next year, first year he mastered Armament Haki, then began to learn to use Ryuo next. So, yeah. But this just go on, and so Luffy, Ryuo, Zoro, Ryuo, Kid, Ryuo, Killer, briefly. Coby, he actually will unlock regular armament as he trained under Shanks for the whole 2 years. Not Rayleigh, Shanks. So, yeah. Coby can use Armament Haki, but has perfect observation. Like Greek. His observation is better than Katakuri. That's how good it is. He tuned it into that beat to be that well. So he said he wanted to master it better than anyone could ever. And that could actually help him in combat a lot more than Armament Haki could. Which actually Shanks agreed with. So, yeah. What his observation does for Coby is slow it down time briefly. And his body is in such good shape he can avoid most attacks, even if it's at light speed. Like, he's at the point where he can probably compare to Kizaru's speed. So, yeah. Sanji and everyone else kind of has like a regular amount of power. Sanji can briefly use Ryuo as well. Everyone else is kind of the same. It's just like one arc ahead in terms of power. Sanji's more like early Wano levels of power. So, yeah. While Luffy's comparable to like early Onigashima in power. So I guess we just go on to like just Fishman Island, but that's done pretty easily. Luffy has perfect Conqueror's Haki. Huh. Basically, you can go through most arcs. The only important arc would be versus Doflamingo, where they actually meet Law properly. And Law is kind of shocked to see that the crews are this strong now. But the thing is, we watched through so many opponents so fast and no one really cared about the bounties. Like, it's kind of obvious there. They use hockey already. We know how much they use. We don't know who trained them, though, but we know they're strong. The bounties don't really get a big increase until Doflamingo. I'll have to redo most of the bounties. So, yeah. But with this, we just go on, and we go to, like, I guess just Doflamingo. First off, when Sanji fights Doflamingo, Sanji almost kills Doflamingo until he retreats, and then Luffy fights Doflamingo and wins pretty easily. Law had killed Treble. Zoro and Kid teamed up to defeat Pika by basically Kid, like, making sure Pika can't escape, and then Zoro cut him down when he had no escape route. By the way, on Punk Hazard, we actually had Sanji kill Virgo himself. Law actually just paralyzed him for a bit, though. Smoker got to see how strong Luffy truly is, and actually knew he was pretty inferior already. Coby had beaten Senior Pink alongside Frankie. Senior Pink actually began using hockey, which Frankie could not keep up with, but Coby had helped him and they defeated Senior Pink himself. Like, to make up for like the Justice Jacket, like Coby looks so badass with the Justice Jacket, so to make up for it, Kobe wears a basic black jacket, and yeah, a basic black jacket and just like some like white t-shirt underneath. Kind of looks like Frank, not Frankie. I mean, looks like Shanks, but he's like a white long sleeve shirt and then some black jacket like over it, and then just some black pants regularly. Kind of just looks normal. It's just he's Coby, so he's a lot more powerful. But Doflamingo's almost killed by Luffy until Sengoku arrives, stops the fight, and Doflamingo's under arrest, and Doflamingo's like, finally, I cannot keep up anymore with this, even as an awakened user, I cannot keep up with this. And well, Sengoku's impressed with Luffy's use of Ryuo, and he calls Luffy a really strong pirate. So, yeah. By the way, you guys are curious about how like his takeover of the East Blue and South Blue are currently going. No one dares go near it because Luffy's display at Marineford was terrifying. So yeah, no one goes near the East Blue. But also Buggy actually was too scared of Luffy to say like the reason I can't be in the East Blue right now. He's too scared to say that. So yeah. So we just go on to basically see Luffy who just end up that at least I can pause real quick to update the bounties. So the Straw Hats, I'm going with the bounties right now. Wait, I forgot one bounty, my bad. So now the Straw Hats as a combined bounty, 8,180,000,000. That's a combined bounty that they have. But Luffy and the crew, 900 million. Sengoku deemed Luffy so impressive he gave Luffy that bounty at almost 1 billion. Then we have Kid, 830 million, Zoro, 800 million, Killer, 740 million, Sanji, 700 million, Coby, 680 million, Inazuma, 650 million, Brook, 480 million, Usopp, 500 million, Chopper, 10 million actually. Sengoku gave him respect. Gem, 460 million, Galdino, 450 million, Robin, 420 million, Frankie, 300 million, Nami, 260 million. Those are all the bounties. 8,180,000,000 combined. So, pretty high bounty. Next arc is Zoe, that kind of goes the same way, it's just there's more people. And Momonosuke, Kinemon, and Kanjuro are still with them. But also, Usopp, Coby doesn't notice how much faith Kinemon and Momonosuke have in Kanjuro, and Coby does sense some malicious intentions in them via observation. So just warn Kinemon and Momonosuke about Kanjuro may not be the Kanjuro they know, he may be someone else, because there's evil intentions. Pause real quick. Okay, I'm pretty sure we're on Zoe, they went the same way, just more people. And they met Raizo. And, well, Raizo is told by Kinemon and Momonosuke that their Kanjuro may not be the real Kanjuro. So, with this, they're all in Guardians in Kanjuro, to the point where, as they're sailing to Whole Cake Island, Kanjuro had pointed out, well, before they leave, pointed out that they don't trust him, and Momonosuke, still being a little kid, pointing out that they don't think Kanjuro is the real Kanjuro. Kanjuro immediately realized that he was caught, and then yelled, his name is Kanjuro Kurozumi, and he's a spy for the Orochi. This guy shoots almost look down. You grab him, about to kill him. But suddenly a fist is plunged right through his back, being right from Kid. And Kid said, "Finally, this bastard reveals his true colors. He's been annoying me the whole time." Immediately Kinemon asked why Kid did that earlier and how he knew. And Coby said he told the whole crew, and they began examining him closely. And Kid said he was while walking by Kanjo's room he was staying in while everyone else was asleep. And he was writing, but with a different hand, which showed he wasn't using a dominant hand. That's why his drawings suck. And this they all realized that made sense. Luffy is still pretty dense in the head. He's like average, but still pretty dense at times. He's kind of oblivious to things occasionally. Like it took this man like almost a year to, not a year, but it took this man a few months to realize that Kid fully was Junko King. So like, yeah, the kid had a suspicion, but didn't know until like a month later as he actually figured it out. But this we could go on to like just this can go on to like just not Goku. We can go on to like Luffy and everyone else. Like everyone, like the same guy said to Wano. Like Sanji isn't. Well, first Beijing does arrive because this is very interesting. Beijing does arrive, and Luffy and Beijing already have a rivalry because Beijing has been chased out of the east almost 100 times already because he wanted to take it over, but he couldn't. So Beijing begins attacking like Luffy when he arrives, but is getting the help beat out of him by Luffy himself, which led to Vito trying to jump in, but Kid took Vito's gun and shot Vito right in the shoulder, making him sit down. So yeah, usually Beijing goes in like his big father mode. And Luffy just uses one giant elephant gun, hitting him in the chest, knocking him out officially. Luffy asked why Beijing was here, and Beijing told him about the whole thing, like, basically, like, Sanji is supposed to, like, his dad wants Sanji. Like, Sanji's dad wants him to marry Big Mom's daughter, Pudding. And this is immediately when a picture of Pudding is pulled out from Beijing, and Sanji's like, I'll marry her. And he's like, no, you will not. You will stay with us. You will not be joining Big Mom's crew. You will not be going back to Germa. Sanji had revealed he was part of Germa to everyone. So he said like no, you're not going to Germa. You're not going to Big Mom's crew. You're staying here with me. But instead, you'll be a spy for us for Germa and Big Mom. Sanji agreed with this as everyone else still leaves. But Luffy, Kid, Sanji, Coby. So Luffy, Kid, Sanji, Coby, Chopper, Jam, Galdino. So I guess the whole Wano crew, not Wano crew, the whole Big Mom crew that went, plus Kid, Coby, Galdino. No, not Galdino. And to replace Galdino, we're gonna put Inazuma. He replaces what I just said earlier. So, Kid, Coby, Luffy, Sanji, Nami, Inazuma. That's who goes. Well, everyone else heads to Wano. But Kanjo's dead, so no one knows who's heading to Wano. No one knows who's going. Which actually gives Orochi a very big disadvantage. But Zoro's already a lot stronger than he's in canon, already able to wield Enma, and Luffy already knew Zoro had conquerors. He knew it. He sensed it in Zoro. He sensed it in Kid, and Kid awakened it, and so Luffy's hunch on it is never wrong. So yeah, this does mean Luffy's crew has 3 Conquerors users, counting Luffy himself. Possibly Sanji, if you want to go to that theory, but I don't want to go to that theory right now. But we move on to them heading to Big Mom, to Whole Cake Island, and while they're there, well, I guess everything goes the same up until Sanji has to attack Luffy. But Sanji, when he's told like just to get Luffy away from them, Sanji says that you can't get near Luffy even if he tried to. He's too strong. Sanji's siblings did attack attack Sanji at one point, and he beat them all with no effort. Like even his base form, like not even using Haki or anything, he beat them all with no effort, which shocked them all, but still. So when Sanji says Luffy's too strong, they ignore him and drive off, and Luffy accepts that. Which led to more or less like, it led to, Big Mom's kids arriving, but we basically just see Kid say he'll take them down himself, and Luffy says, alright then, go wild. They attack Kid, and Kid drop them all. Only one being left would be Katakuri. That's about it. Katakuri didn't arrive, didn't show up though. Well, against Cracker, Luffy, Kid, Inazuma, Nami, and Coby combined dropped Cracker in just a few minutes. Instead of the hours, a few minutes. So yeah. But Luffy had the idea to take over all of Whole Cake Island, by actually revealing how Big Mom's Devil Fruit works and how Big Mom's Devil Fruit works. They reveal all that. No one really knew how it worked. They thought it was just like you shoot snack holes randomly. No, it works off fear. They realized that they all fear Big Mom, and she can take advantage of that. She can take advantage of them through fear. And with that, well, they all kind of started rebelling, overthrowing the whole government of Whole Cake Island. And Big Mom realized that it was the Straw Hats that put her whole island in chaos by actually revealing how Devil Fruit worked. Eventually, Luffy's standing outside Whole Cake Island, and he was just standing there, and she actually asked about her kids, and Luffy said his subordinates took them down. It had been too easy for him to do so, so he let his subordinate do the work. We see Sanji standing next to Luffy alongside Kid, as Coby never knows. Kobe's a lot more of a convincing person, and Nami and Inazuma are just hot, so... Inazuma is pretty decently good looking, so I'll give them that credit. But everyone else is just like, alright, they'll listen to Coby because he's a nice guy. Inazuma and Nami are just pretty, so yeah, they listen to them do that. So with this, Katakuri attacks Luffy, and Katakuri will go for a punch. Quickly, his weapon is grabbed by Luffy and shattered. Luffy had told Katakuri he's a few decades too late to even try to beat him. That Katakuri jumps right towards Luffy trying to fight him, but Katakuri is quickly outmatched and defeated in only a few minutes. With Luffy's Ryuo and a better observation haki was easy for Luffy to just use against Katakuri. Luffy's Katakuri, his observation is the same as in canon, so yeah. Pause real quick. So, Katakuri is defeated in a few minutes by Luffy. Now it's Luffy versus Big Mom. Luffy versus Big Mom. Well, Luffy, Sanji versus Big Mom. Luffy and Sanji took to the air and began fighting Big Mom. Luffy even eventually went into Snake Man because he deemed her worthy of Snake Man. And began fighting her using Snake Man at full ability with Ryuo infused. Sanji began using Ryuo properly now and began fighting Big Mom as well. She used Diablo Jambe infused with Ryuo, actually was, Sanji actually not being touched by the flames at all. More or less just his leg coated in Ryuo and then ignited into flames. Kicked Big Mom hard enough to actually leave a pretty big burn mark on her. With that, Sanji then used another kick, using Ryuo on the other leg, hitting it in the jaw. Luffy just delivered a very strong punch as he switched from Snake Man to Tank Man and hit Big Mom in the face full force. So he uses that one attack he does in Stampede, which is something random, like King Kongo Gun, or King Kong Gun. And hit Big Mom in the face with that, sending her flying through Whole Cake Chateau. Luffy had officially taken down Big Mom. So she got back up and began getting hunger pangs. Hunger pangs woke her up. Luffy had officially beaten her without hunger pangs. Now hunger pangs should beat the absolute hell out of Luffy, or put him at bay at least. And Luffy seems to be an equal for Big Mom. So, yeah. With this, Luffy just keeps on fighting Big Mom until eventually they leave with Jinbei helping them by actually hitting her Fishman Karate in the back, which actually doused her in water. Okay, I'm back. So, I can't really go over all of Wano off the top of my head, but I can go over the bounties that Strats get after leaving. And I forgot to include Jinbei. Jinbei's bounty stays the same after defecting from Big Mom, and he is now the official, Big Mom got her ass kicked the first time, that hunger pangs tired her out enough for her to actually leave the Strats alone, so Jinbei escapes perfectly with his crew not coming. So, yeah. The Jinbei's bounty is the same way, but Luffy's bounty, pushing back Big Mom significantly, he's a bounty of 2.3 billion, higher than Blackbeard. Kid is at 1.9 billion. Then we have Sanji at 1.5 billion. Then Coby, 990 million. Inazuma, 960 million. Nami, 500 million. Then Jinbei's bounty stays the same. So now Wano Country. So Luffy gets to Wano the same way alongside his crew. And everything else goes the same way and they get to Wano. Zoro also cuts down the magistrate because there's no reason for him to be caught. Well, actually, he would be caught. There's really no reason for him to... Yeah, either way. Luffy and Sunny wash up on Wano. His crew's still separated everywhere. Just Kid actually goes to find Killer. So, yeah. Eventually, Tamate takes Luffy to her house. And, he saved her from the Beast Pirates. Luffy meets Zoro. Now Luffy and Zoro versus Hawkins. Zoro suspected that Luffy was already in Wano. He felt Luffy's presence in Wano. And Killer said he's going to go find Kid. So, yeah. So with this, we more or less just see, Zoro and Luffy versus Zoro and Luffy versus Hawkins. And that fight ends in less than 10 minutes. Hawkins is weak as all hell compared to Luffy. Luffy actually surpasses most Yonko currently. So Luffy is already considered a Yonko. They're considering kicking Blackbeard out of the Yonko categories and replacing him with Luffy. So there's kind of a debate. It's like there's 4 Yonko, but Luffy and Blackbeard are neck and neck for that title. And but if when I'm talking about Whitebeard and Ace, they both retired from being pirates. Ace was like, I'm weak as all hell compared to my brother now. There's no use for me right now. I should just retire and live peacefully. So, yeah. Plus, Sphinx Island doesn't need protection because Whitebeard did die from his illness around a year later. After Marineford, that is. But Ace will be delivering a special surprise in Wano. But yeah, so Hawkins is defeated, and then that still Gazelle guy still kidnaps Tama and takes her to Bakara Town. But then we go over to Luffy versus Sumo Wrestler. Luffy defeats Sumo Wrestler without any amping in power or size. Just one simple palm slaps into the man flying halfway across town. We have that lion, like Hold'em, that was his name. Hold'em's guys actually fight Luffy, but Luffy defeats Hold'em without even using any Gomu Gomu no Mi abilities. He's just simply strong as all hell and defeats him. And then, well, Luffy and Zoro deliver the cart of clean food to Okobore Town, whatever it is. I don't care. So yeah. Then the Kozuki family passes, the whole thing happens. Law talks to Luffy and Zoro, the Elden Castle ruins. I guess everything stays the same way until Luffy, like Kaido burns. Well, actually, no, that's something else. I was thinking of the whole fight versus Luffy and Kaido first. But now Kaido now another whole thing gives. So Kaido destroys Odin's castle until he realizes he thinks he destroyed it. Up until he looks at where the blast was, with some giant metal shield blocking it. And we see Kid sitting down, and Kid just said that the attack was weak as hell. Kaido should be ashamed of himself for it. But suddenly, from just above, you would hear someone yell, Red Hawk, and Luffy's fist slams right into Kaido's head. From below, we hear Diablo Jambe as Kaido's kicked right in the chin by Sanji. With that, both these two explosive flaming attacks make one giant explosion around Kaido's head, make Kaido fall to the ground and revert back to his quote-unquote human form. Now Kaido has to fight Luffy and Sanji combined until the threats who are okay jump down and begin fighting him, giving the hands. We have Luffy using perfect Ryuo, and halfway through the fight discovers his Conqueror's Haki ability. Conqueror's Haki armament coating ability. Then one good attack slams into Kaido's gut, sending Kaido flying away. And we see Sanji deliver one good kick right to Kaido's neck, almost breaking it. Or it would have broken it. Sanji thought it would have broken it, but Kaido's Kaido, so he's fine. We see Zoro, who had awakened a similar ability with Conqueror's Haki, but instead he got Enma from Hiyori. Actually, no, he wouldn't meet Hiyori just yet, because he's not there, actually. Actually, I didn't say Zoro is with Luffy, but I want to keep it the same way, so Zoro actually isn't there. Screw it, Zoro's not there. But Killer is. Killer actually would be comparable to canonical Wano Zoro. Well, not like Enma Zoro, but close to Enma Zoro, I'd say. And, well, they all begin fighting against Kaido, and eventually Kaido's pushed back, and Kaido retreats back to Onigashima, because Luffy actually delivered a one broken bone to Kaido. One singular broken rib. So Kaido retreated just in fear of Luffy, actually. Not in fear, but in cautiousness of Luffy. Luffy's not in prison, neither is Kid. Geiko Morio still tries to attack Blackbeard, but Blackbeard's pissed, because his Yonko position is more or less being threatened. So Blackbeard, in anger, defeats them all. He kills Moria. He kills him. Or unless Moria's still alive, but we don't know, so Moria's defeated. Fucking Inuyasha versus Ashura Doji, and that goes the same way. But like, Inuyasha is actually very... He wants Zoro and Kid to take the mantle of like having Momonosuke and Enma. He wants to be Momonosuke's sword, and wants Zoro to have Enma. So he hopes that they can at least find their hands on the blades of them. So yeah, now Hiyori makes her appearance. That goes the same way, I guess. Zuko Murasaki attacks Orochi. Robin is still there as well a Oiran, I guess. So Hiyori's still Oiran, and then Kyoshiro, quote unquote, cuts her down. And starts on the move. So I guess everything else is gonna go the same way until Sanji would actually put on his raid suit and fight Page 1. Well, Germa is just more or less terrified of Sanji. They give him a suit out of just fear of him, like to say the suit just let us leave in peace. That's kind of how it was. It was raid suit. He already awakened his cyber abilities against Kaido. And against Kaido, he actually is able to, use his cyber abilities properly. But Page 1 is just him trying to use them in battle under his full control. With this, he's actually able to defeat Page 1, not even using raid suit, so, yeah. Zoro meets Yasu. Yasu and Zoro get along pretty well, but Zoro can tell Yasu's putting on a fake smile. Yeah, Yasu doesn't have a he doesn't have a smile devil fruit. It's very sad by why he does smile, but yeah. But Robin, Brook, Nami, and Shinobu escape from the castle. Luffy instead, actually, for the whole prisoner arc, Luffy is plotting and a raid with Kid and Killer on it. So they'll break it up. They'll break it up themselves because when Kinemon and Momonosuke cannot find Kawamatsu, they suspect the prison, so they're gonna check there later. It's kind of a whole attack thing. Then Big Mom still has her whole amnesia thing, and she is with the Straw Hats. So yeah. Eventually, Luffy does get some info from some old samurai that Hyogoro was arrested, so now they're just break Hyogoro out, because that'd be useful. So during the whole sumo thing, Luffy eventually would break in and basically just beating all hell out of everyone, and he has to fight Queen. Well, Zoro also defeats some random guy that attacked him. It's not Kamazo, because Kamazo is Killer, and Killer's with Luffy, so yeah. But Luffy has to fight Queen, but Sanji intervenes, and Sanji gives the hand to Queen. The cyborg hands to Queen. Hiyori basically is able to talk to Zoro still, but Zoro isn't injured at all. He's completely fine, actually. Hiyori and Zoro talk for a bit. Yeah, so just keep going. Yasu is still captured. Prison break still happened because Sanji beat Queen, and then the little prison all hell broke loose, and Kawamatsu's freed. They bring him to just random ruins, Kazuki Castle, because that's still there, and no one wants to attack because they're terrified of what happens if they go in for attack. So Yasu is saved actually, because Yasu doesn't die, by Luffy. Luffy has saved Yasu because Luffy has a lot of free time right now. Luffy, everyone knows Kaido ran away because he got beat up by Luffy. Everyone knows this. So Kaido just retreated. It was known as retreat, not Kaido leaving because he won. It was known as Kaido leaving because he had to retreat. So Yasu saved. But just no one expected Yasu to be saved. No one knew the shots were in Wano besides Kaido and his crew. Orochi wasn't notified who it was. They should know some random someone kicked crap out of page 1, and that's it. So yeah. So Toko is wrecked by Zoro and Sanji. Toko then gets saved. I have to wait for everything else to load in now. It sucks. Whatever it is. Alright, right here. So, whole prison break happens. Big Mom still goes berserk. Hyogoro's college taken off, so it's Kawamatsu's. Big Mom versus Luffy is a rematch. And when Big Mom fights Luffy, she's actually a lot more scared because she is notified by Queen, who says he almost beat Kaido. Be careful. But she's kind of curious how strong he got in Wano. But she quickly figures out from a King Kong gun infused with Conqueror's Haki, and that knocks her out. Cold. With that, Luffy had landed, saying that they should leave now before she wakes up, because that took up all of his energy to do that one strong punch. So yeah. Kaido and Big Mom clash on Onigashima, because that goes the same way. Everyone just has Onigashima. The war is approaching, so they'll get ready for that war. And I guess we just move on, just still through and through. Kawamatsu finds the weapons that Onimaru collected. Eventually, Zoro does get Enma. Law also isn't captured by Hawkins. Law trained a lot with Kinemon and everyone else on the way to Zou, because everyone stayed with them. They stayed as a group at what was it? Fucking Dressrosa. They stayed as a group there. So Law actually got swords in training and wasn't captured. Instead, when he had to fight Hawkins first time, Hawkins got the hands, or the sword, the panda hands, or polar bear hands from Beppo. Zoro wields Enma, and Luffy actually suspects that Zoro, using Ryuo, may not be able to contain Enma. Instead, we'll teach Zoro how to use Conqueror's Haki coding. That actually masters Enma for Zoro perfectly, so Enma's fine. And Zoro can already use it properly, so just wait till Zoro ends up fighting against, Zoro fights against King. Big Mom and Kaido Pirate Alliance, but they're both terrified of Luffy right now, because Kaido still has a broken rib. It's only been like a week since then. So yeah. We have the whole Reverie event going on, so yeah. Pause real quick. Alright, so Scabbards are at Tokage Port, but they're all a lot stronger because Luffy actually insists on them learning how to use Ryuo a lot better, so they're all stronger. So yeah. This is Odin's backstory. I'll keep going through that. We have to go through this. Odin is boiled alive. Kanjuro reveals himself as Orochi's spies. Kanjuro's dead. That doesn't happen. Momonosuke isn't captured. Momonosuke is pretty safe right now. So, yeah. So the Beast Pirates, the ships are all destroyed. But, well, the whole crew's are together all at once. And it doesn't go well for the Beast Pirates. Even if Dendro arrives, there's no ships left for him to destroy. Jinbei is already with the Straw Hats right now. He was actually, well, more or less searching for Kawamatsu on the outside of Wano by going in the water. So, yeah. He wasn't with Luffy. He got swept away. But Ninja Pirate Mink Samurai Alliance swarmed and they arrive at Onigashima. Pause real quick. Alright, so, well, Kid attacks Apu. Everything goes the same, I guess. Up until Zoro and Luffy see them see the Beast Pirates spill the red bean, whatever it was, and they go berserk. Then Kid attacks Apu, goes the same way. Kid gives a hand to Apu with disrespect. Only the fact that Kid just wanted to beat the hell out of Apu because, well, he heard about Apu being a traitor, and Kid is a pretty, actually, loyal guy right now, so betrayal is something that Kid doesn't take kindly to, no matter even if you're not friends or allies, potential allies at all. He just hates it, so, yeah. Well, when Marco does arrive in Wano, we see a giant guy made out of flames attack, and someone else using guns attack as well. So these three just more or less push back Big Mom's crew, including Pero and whatever else is left. Kaido and Ochi drink together. Ochi, I'm pretty sure, dies at Kaido's hands, or quote-unquote dies, if you read the manga. And we more or less see Yamato save Luffy from ulti. But in reality, ulti got her shit kicked in by Luffy. With no difficulty. I don't know why he didn't do this, but he can just literally stretch his neck. He's swinging far back and swinging it forward using Gum Bell, and then hit her Ryuo. That's all he could have done. And we would have won. So, yeah, that's all it took. Yamato brings Luffy along, and they end up bringing kind of the same way. But then we have the submarine team arrive on Onigashima, the Scabbards arrive at Onigashima. And they go to fight Kaido. Yamato reveals that, Kozuki Oden, quote-unquote, reveals himself as Yamato, who's a female. So, yeah, Kaido betrayed Orochi, kills him, like I said before. The Scabbards ambush Kaido, and actually they're a lot stronger because they can all use Ryuo at an expert level. Because at least I don't see them use Ryuo in canon, so, yeah. Close it quick. Those Scabbards have to fight Kaido, but they're all a lot stronger as they can all use Ryuo at advanced levels now. Stronger than they are in canon, but briefly. So I take over the live stage, and I guess everything goes to hell from there. V and Drake team up to defeat the numbers, but they defeat all the numbers, actually, all the ones that they see. So yeah. Then, actually, it's not the Scabbards that do it in this one. It's more or less just Kinemon, and when Kinemon does it, we see a stronger Dendro, stronger than all of them actually. Deliver that one good strike, and it's on Kaido's eye, blinding him. Or they thought it blinded him till he's a zone and uses damn healing factor that I hate so much that all zones have. Marco fights Big Mom briefly. Marco and Ace battle briefly. Marco and Ace battle Big Mom briefly. They push her back insanely, like an insane amount. So yeah. So if they're being pushed back a lot, it's just funny. Because, it was something that Big Mom didn't expect from Ace, who used to be a weakling. But Ace held himself back a lot because he wanted to honor Warrior Tower, not being overshadowed by his own. Ace can use all three forms of hockey at expert levels, even using Ryuo briefly. So Marco, they're basically just one giant flying Ryuo-infused bird that crashes into Big Mom's face, and you're flying back. So yeah. Plus we can go on to basically just Onigashima being brought into the air by Kaido. And, the Shots fight these miscellaneous members of the, of Kaido's crew. So the Emperors versus the Worst Generation. So, aka, Luffy, Zoro, Law, and Kid. That's about it. Guess you guys can just, you guys can go to the site and read it if you want, because I don't remember anything off the top of my head, even though I know I'm all caught up. So Robin absolutely abuses Black Maria, but the first time they meet, Robin goes all out from the start, even though she's a lot stronger than she is in canon, she just goes all up from the start, abusing Black Maria, so that fight ends pretty fast. Plus, Brooke took on all of her handyman. Harper cures the Ice Oni virus, which I want to see in the anime badly, because it's a really cool scene. And Hyoguro was still pushed to his, like, prime by the Ice Oni somehow. The scabs cut off Orochi's remaining heads, even though it doesn't kill him. Big Mom is pushed off Onigashima. Well, at the time, it's thanks to Kid alone. The Kid himself just uses one giant-ass sumo slap and sends Thunder flying off of Onigashima. So, yeah. Like, Kid, Luffy, and Zoro can all use Conqueror's Haki coding. So, yeah. Law is, like, the only one that cannot do it. The only one on the roof right now that can't do it. Killer instead right now is fighting like just random people on the roof. On the roof, I mean, that's trying to go to the roof, which would include King later on. And we have Queen about to fight Sanji later. So, yeah. Queen wants a rematch because he was caught off guard the first time. But yeah. Zoro gives Kaido a Ashura. This time Zoro's a lot stronger. He's Conqueror's Haki coding, plus Conqueror's Haki coding on Enma. He gives Kaido as another X. Well, not an X actually, just gives Kaido 9 different slashes across his body that are permanent now. So, yeah. Now, Luffy is pushed off of Onigashima, but briefly. He was sliding back and was flying off of it. But the ground beneath him actually gives out and he falls off. This time he's hanging on briefly because he's already tired out. Kaido still used that big ass attack that he had used in canon, which knocked them almost all of them out. But Kid and Law go to battle Big Mom, and Luffy's just hanging off of Onigashima by one arm as he's decided to use his double fruit right now. So he's kind of hanging on for a bit. But she does fall and still get helped by the Heart Pirates. So yeah. So page 1 is still punched by Big Mom, but we just see Kid and Law just team up against her, and they're all more powerful than they are in canon because they're monsters. So yeah. Ulti's still defeated, and I guess everything just keeps going forward as Luffy's just trying to recover. So Sanji saves Chopper from Queen and Perospero, but Sanji gives the hands to Perospero, defeating him, and Zoro's isn't too badly injured right now. He's actually completely fine. So yeah. Well, he's not completely fine. He has a bit of like bruises and a few broken arm and like one broken arm and just a few broken other bones, but yeah, he doesn't need to be in that giant cross cast that you see him in right here. So they may give me copyright. I don't care right now. I just want to go over this. We see the stars just keep going on and defeating. Well, Sanji defeats Queen of Perospero in just a few minutes. So now, actually, he did a few minutes in canon. So Sanji does that in like half the time he did in manga. So yeah, Sanji just delivers one good kick to Peropero's ribs, knocking him out. Well, she's not knocking him out because I still want the fight between Nekomamushi and Perospero. So you more or less see Sanji fight Queen and defeat him. He defeated him a lot earlier than he thought. Nami and Zeus knocked out Ulti, but they did the first time. When Ulti got back up, immediately Nami without Zeus took down Ulti. So, yeah. Sanji defeats Queen, like I said before. Usu rains down the barrage whatever he did on Jinbei. But Jinbei still same amount of power he's in canon. Actually, with a bit of training in Ryuo as well as other forms of Haki. Not other forms, but just a bit stronger with Haki. He's able to somewhat push back everyone, not push back, but defeat Usu a bit faster, like a few minutes earlier. So, yeah. So, I guess Jinbei defeats Usu, like I said before. Frankie defeats Sasaki, but Frankie did that, and just, like half the time he didn't canon. Frankie's a lot stronger than he's in canon. He can use Haki. All the rest, if you can't use Haki in the Straw Hat crew, you're basically useless at this point, because they all can use it. So, yeah, even Chopper can use it. But, yeah. Kaido and Yamato go one-on-one briefly in their hybrid forms. And Kaido deems Yamato very impressive, but Kaido's also a lot weakened, so, yeah. He's pretty beat up. Black Mages are defeated, so, yeah. She's down for the count right now. We can go on to, like, Zoro. Well, Zoro actually would just go back down. It's kind of fighting Yamato right now. He isn't too injured right now, but Sanji just went down to help Sanji because Yamato's like, you're injured, just go down and wait and just get your stamina back or go get healed by Chopper or something. So Zoro begins fighting begins fighting King. But Zoro actually just says that he will Zoro, I mean, Killer says he'll fight King for Zoro. Zoro should take a break. So King is around as strong as Canonical Zoro is right now. So yeah, well, if Zoro's stronger than Canonical Zoro, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, Momonosuke turned into his adult dragon thing, which I do think is pretty cool. We just want to see him as a human now to see if he looks like Odin. I don't think he does, but yeah. Luffy and Momonosuke confront Kaido. Momonosuke still waits the hell out of Kaido. Inuarashi defeats Jack. Nekomamushi defeats Perospero. So Sanji in this one. Well, Sanji already didn't defeat Perospero in canon. I just wanted nothing else to happen, yeah. So Killer's fighting King right now. So this is Zoro to defeat Hawkins. This time Hawkins didn't link his whole heart thing to anyone else right now because he's basically on the brink of death already from Law. So him still being pretty weakened fights Zoro, and Zoro gives him the hands with disrespect. So yeah, Kanjuro Kanjuro's dead, so there's no flames on Onigashima right now besides the ones Kaido is using to hold it up. So with this, she fights Kid and Law, and those two are still extremely powerful, but Law and Kid more powerful than they are in canon. So yeah. Drake and Apu team up against CP0, and that still goes the same way it does in canon. Yeah. So Sanji didn't even use his raid to defeat Queen this time. He just used his like basic hockey abilities, plus his controlled cyborg abilities as well. So Queen's already defeated now. This is the second time Sanji's beaten Queen. King defeats Queen, not Queen. I mean, what was it? Don't think of it. Killer defeats King the same way Zoro does in canon, just the same way, but defeats King still. So yeah. But Luffy vs. Kaido finale. Drake and Zonk defeated by CP. This one's a surprise. CP0 is overpowered as hell. But Luffy's a lot stronger than he is in canon, and he fights Kaido a lot more and a lot harder, which is actually, well, impressive, because this Luffy's a lot stronger than he is in canon either way. Like, by the time Luffy actually encounters the Straw Hats, like on Sabaody after the 2 years, he already can use Ryuo at a good level. But when about the rest of the Straw Hats, they're literally just fighting random people and whoever else they want. So yeah, and Zo's approaching Wano, and we'll have to wait for this to be updated, so they should get the rest of this. But with Luffy's strength right now, Kaido's defeated. Zunisha does whatever it wants to do, and until we get through the rest of the manga, well, we can say Kaido's defeated right now. I'll go over everything else once Wano's concluded, I guess. This is what we left alone for almost a year, I guess. Goodbye.